What's up this afternoon, everyone? Welcome. Fine Wednesday to y'all. Good to see ya. Hella Chrome. Hey, what's up, dog? How are you? Delphi Guru, Lucapot, Gawanji, Autism, W Van House. How is everyone doing today? I am super excited. Not only are we doing some magicking, it is Bloomburrow standard time. It is early access day, and I have a ridiculously huge list of new decks to try out. So look at the list of decks. There's no way we can possibly play them all today because there's just way too many. But go through the list. Let me know what you want to see. What are you most excited for? And we're gonna play as many decks as possible and see if we can do some ridiculous things in our new standard format. Hey, what's up, GFU? McIntyre, welcome to the Fishbowl, and also Purdue, welcome you as well. Big soup cheer for you. Thank you. Everyone wants to see mice. We might have to just start with mice. I think mice are going to be pretty popular. I would not be surprised if we play against mice quite a bit, but I think mice, my expectation, okay, so if we look at the tribes of Bloomburrow, my expectation is mice and then rabbits are probably going to be the two that rise to the top of the format the quickest. Lustful Jades, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big soup cheer for you. Thank you. But we'll jump around. We'll do a bunch of different stuff. So if you've never been to an early access day stream before, it's a little different than a normal stream. Tove3, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you for your subscription. Big soup cheer for you. Thank you. On early access day, we try to play as many decks as possible. So on a normal stream, we usually play like one deck or two decks, but today we're going to be jumping around, few games with each deck, move on to the next one, get a little taste of what Bloomburrow Standard's about, and then we can always come back to the decks that we like the most in the future and go more in depth on them. So that's the plan for today, checking out all that our super cute Bloomburrow format has to offer. Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of aggro today. I think a lot of people are going to play mice and rabbits. That is my guess. Urborg Lorgoyf handing out a ton of gift subs to Orlin and Kalith and Upheaval and Rubber Kitty and Rye Tiger in Small Town Magic. Welcome you to the Fishbowl. Big scoop cheer for all of you. Thank you. All right, let's do our reminders and let's get into some games. And then we talk about stuff as we're going along. So be thinking about what deck list you actually want to see. Reminders. Wow, so many subs today. Thank you, everyone. Ike's HS, welcome you to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big soup cheer for you. Thank you. Can you play the control deck just to counteract aggro? So if we want to do that, I think the control deck, I did build a control deck. Usually I don't build a control deck, but I'm intrigued by Biza. I think Biza is a really strong card. So I did build a Biza control deck, and I think this deck hopefully will just smack the aggro deck. So if we get sick of playing against aggro, we can break out Biza and lay the beat down on everyone trying to have fun on early access day. Culture Pop, welcome to the Fishbowl. Man, so many subs. Thank you so much, everyone. Big soup cheer for you. Thank you. And a Rockalypse for the 52nd month. Big soup cheer for you. Thank you. Yeah, the Apthen Green Shell deck is really cool looking. Like, it's kind of a Panharmonicon deck, and it's just got all this, like, high toughness creatures. So, yeah, I'm really excited. We got some cool decks to check out. Bats seem really interesting. There's some combo decks. Like, this deck might be an against odds deck, but this deck might be one that I'm most interested in. It's a Storm Splitter combo deck that's trying to combo Storm Splitter with Insidious Roots. So Insidious Roots lets your tokens tap for mana. Storm Splitter makes tokens. So the hope is you Storm Splitter with the roots out, and then you start like highway robbering adventure creatures to make a bunch of copies, and then you Pitiless Carnage to sack all those copies to draw even more cards, and you go through your deck and eventually have this huge combo turn with Storm Splitter. There's some wild stuff that we can do in this format. Swing for Zero, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you for your subscription. Big soup cheer for you. Thank you. People really want to see the Viper. The Viper, I'm not sure that Viper is actually good, but I did want to build a deck. So the idea of this deck was like, what if you just go all in on Viper? What if all of your cards are putting two cards into play? So you can sack them to the Viper as fast as possible. So we'll give it a try. We'll give Viper a try too. Anyway, let's do our reminders real quick. Replay YouTube. That's where you'd find all the old streams, including this one of the future. Normal YouTube. Bloomburrow stuff kicking off next week. This week, some what do we got coming up this week? Some modern, some timeless, so some stuff like that. So keep an eye out for all that. A reminder that our sponsor today is Card Kingdom. If you need some magical cards, you can get them over at cardkingdom.com/MTG Goldfish. Even get a fish sticker. Just let them know you want one in your order notes, and they'll hook you up. Also, it's mousing time. Why it's mousing time? I don't know if I get the joke, but it is mousing time. Although I don't know if we're gonna play mice right away, but maybe we'll do some micing. So anyway, that's the plan for today. So what do y'all want to see first? Give me your vote. What is our first deck of early access day? Do we start with something simple but boring like mice, or do we start with something wild and probably not gonna win much like some combo deck? Do we start with the Viper? Do we start with squirrels? What do you want to see? Mice, snakes, frog bounce, not mice, prowess, frogs, Viper, abs and green shell, big red. Not my, a lot of not mice vote. Rakdos scam. Thankfully, there's no Rakdos scam to worry about today. Although maybe Cruel Claw. That might be as close as we can get. Mice then snakes. I guess that would make sense, right? Because the snake eats the mice. Also, speaking of snakes, do you like snakes, chat? Snakes are very controversial. I think out of all the animals, snakes got to be one of the most controversial. It's morphin time? Oh, it's a play on morphin. Ah, see? Yeah. That's the downside of growing up without TV. I never got to watch Power Rangers, so... Snakes are cool. Snakes are like... I think snakes are... I'm not like super scared of snakes, but I think they're a little creepy. Snakes kind of creep me out a little bit. I know some people have them as pets. Oh, man. I don't think I could have a snake for a pet. I don't think I could do it. Do the mice win or do the not mice win? All right, we'll do a couple games with mice just because we'll get it out of the way. We'll get it out of the way because everyone wants to see the mice or doesn't want to see the mice. Let's do a couple. They're going to be quick and easy games anyway. They're going to be quick and easy games, and then we would have done it. We would have done the mouse thing, and then we can move forward. So what are mice trying to do? You play a bunch of mice, and they all target each other, and I think it's going to be really good because you get super strong one-drops like Flowerfoot Swordmaster, that when you target it, it pumps your mice. Heartfire Hero, when you target it, it pumps itself. Then you have just like Manifold Mouse, incidentally targets. Raging Battle Mouse, incidentally targets. The equipment from Mabel, incidentally targets. So it's really easy. They just all kind of like synergize together. So let's do some mousing. Let's do some mousing, and then we'll move on to the next deck. We'll play bats too. I was wondering if we should try to do just like all the creature types. But I thought that might get a little boring, because some of them are kind of similar. Like, we're going to try mice, but then rabbits are kind of very mouse-like, where you're just like, hey, I'm just going to, like, play a bunch of creatures that are rabbits and attack you with them. So, does Battle Mouse cost reduction work with Offspring? It does. Ooh, wait, what's up, Twitch extension? All right, this hand, this hand's fine. Heartfire Mouse, Mabel's, Monstrous Rage. Good enough. Yeah, we gotta try frogs. Frogs, I'm very... yeah, bats are kind of flying mice. Kind of literally flying mice. I feel like bats might actually be a sleeper. I think bats might actually be good. Frogs, I'm a little worried are gonna be bad, but they're so cool. But I am a little worried that they might not actually be that good. Let's just start on Cavern, on Mouse. Let our opponent know what's up. Perhaps the first time a Cavern of Souls has ever named mice in the history of Magic. Frogs with Panharmonicon effects. Yeah, Alice Shorn seems really good with frogs, even though it's not a frog, but it synergizes, and we'll take it. Inspector, down to 19. Opponent, Conceal Courtyard. If frogs are bad, you just gotta make them good. They're just, like, so synergistic. Like, it's not that they're bad, it's just, like, you can obviously see with, like, mice or bats, you're kind of like, okay, I see how this works. You just kind of, like, this might be a Viper deck, actually, with what our opponent's doing. I think it might be a Viper deck. Well, let's do our thing. We're going to play a Blades. Play a Manifold Mouse. No Offspring. Go to combat. Double strike up the Heartfire Hero. Get a counter on the Heartfire Hero. Give it double strike for ya. And that's the power of the mice. Attacking for 4 on turn 2 just by playing their things. You don't even have to do any... Wow, sacking the clue. Well, this game might just be over. This game might just be over. Opponent. Oh my god, Manifold Mouse. Play the land. Manifold Mouse number 2. Oh, this is brutal. This is brutal. Go to combat. Target you. Wait, do we win? If we give this trample and double strike, trample. Attack. Wait, this isn't game. Is this is almost game. This is almost game. This is almost game. Oh god, Monstrous Rage. Pump it. Turn 3. Turn 3. Our opponent's down to 4. The set releases next to an opponent scoops it up. I'm honestly, I actually have a little fear the aggro might be too good in this set. I think we're going to end up, so the set drops Tuesday, I believe, for everyone. So next Tuesday. Elvis Huga, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super for you. Thank you. Chat, do you play best of 3 or best of 1 mostly? I'm very curious because I think what's going to happen with this set is I think those two formats are going to look very different. I think in best of 3, we're going to see like more mid-rangey stuff. In best of 1 is going to be so aggressive. Hey, what's up, Gordius? How are you? Because there's just so many insane 1-drops in this set that I think, oh man, aggro is going to be so good in best of 1. Yeah, that was almost a turn 3 win. Mice are so busted. Mice are so good. We'll play a land. Run out the Flowerfoot Swordmaster, and they're so cute too. I challenge you to a modern game over spell table. Winner takes all the marbles. Ooh, well maybe we'll have to play some modern sometime. I don't know if we can say we broke it yet. Plus, like even if we did break it, it's mice. Does that even count as bats? Bats? Bats. Well, I don't know how this goes. Let's play Battlefield Fjorge. And so if do we want to Monstrous Rage it? That feels so bad. We could. So when this gets targeted, it pumps all of our mice. Yeah, let's just play the Raging Battle Mouse, I think, and pass the turn. Quick question. I've seen many Magic content creators get their hands on sealed product before the release of the set. How exactly is that set up so you can get a box so early? I was thinking about it when watching your unboxing video. So some of it I think is from like the ambassador program, which I'm not in the ambassador program, but I think some people I do have a discard deck, so yeah, we might do some racking today. So I think some people get the product that way. The other trick is basically you can't sell the product before the release date or something, but you see a lot of people like you can open the box and then give it back to the LGS or whatever, or go to the LGS and open a box. So that's kind of the other workaround, I think. Let's Cavern on Mouse. We got a Manifold Mouse. So if we Raging, so we can Manifold Mouse. So if we Manifold Mouse, now we can go to combat. Give you Double Strike, which will also trigger to pump, and then we can attack with both, and then Witchstalker Frenzy. Wow, mice feel so strong. Witchstalker Frenzy with a discount from the Battle Mouse to get rid of the Essence Channeler. Opponent can grow the Lifecaster Duel. That's fine because we're smacking you to 16. Puoli, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super for you. Thank you. I would love to see your take on modern Kalia Wildfire MLD deck. Ooh, that would be sweet. We need better MLD in modern. I'm surprised they haven't done that yet. I feel like in modern you could get away with printing some pretty powerful MLD, and they just haven't done it yet. Battle Mouse, like, we finally see it. It took a year, but now we see it was a plant for the future. And the future is here, and the mice are here, and the mice are good. The mice are really good. About it. Mass land destruction. But I think that modern could be fine with, like, an Armageddon. The format's so powerful that I think the format would be perfectly fine with some sort of Armageddon effect. Found it. I'm getting in with the duo. Ooh, Whiskervale Forerunner. We're kind of falling behind here. Huh. Wait, are we going to lose to Amelia? Is that how this goes? Well, let's play Raging Battle Mouse. Go to combat. Attack. Opponent's gonna take it. All right, yeah. We might be losing. We might have met our match to Amelia life gain. Soul Sisters. Did Soul Sisters break it? What about MLD spell that chooses a land type that can blow up basics, shocks, triomes? Wait, what about an MLD spell that chooses a land type that can blow up basic, shocks, triomes, or tron lands depending on what type you choose? Ooh, see, I don't think they put basics on there. I think basics would be a non-starter for Wizards. I don't think Wizards would do basics, but they could certainly do the rest of it. I don't know if they would print a spell that was just blow up all basics. I don't think they want, and I don't even know if I want them to punish decks for playing basics. I feel like, wow, this bad deck's popping off. About it. Getting in. I don't know about Amelia. Amelia's definitely not a bat. That is definitely not a bat. That kind of feels like cheating. I'm just saying, that kind of feels like cheating. Gets a bat, gains a life, drains. But the Amelia is doing a ton of work here. Emberheart Challenger. We're missing land drops too, which is making it really hard. Like, this would look a lot different if we had been able to actually get to any of our cards, but we haven't. Monstrous Rage. Can we find a land? Yes, but it's so slow. So we can trigger this. We can trigger this. It's just not enough, though. Just not enough. So we can attack for 8. Like, it's attacking for 8, but it just doesn't matter. And I think we're just dead now. Yeah, batted. The thing. So here's the thing. Here's the thing why I don't think bats can actually be good is because Sunspine Lynx is so good. Like, I don't think you can play a life gain deck because there's a card that just is incredibly strong and hoses you by itself. So I think it's going to be tough for bats to actually maintain just because Lynx is so good. I think Lynx is, like, legitimately one of the strongest cards in the entire set. We'll give frogs a try. We'll give frogs a try. Ooh, lizards, eh? Well, play a land and Heartfire Hero. Is Sunspine Lynx going to take the place of Furnace Punisher and Mono Red? Maybe. You can play them together, too. They're on different spots on the curve. Well, yeah. Aggro. Aggro mirror, but our opponent's on the play. Not the best spot to be. Brazen Collector. Well, we will play a Plains and a Raging Battle Mouse. And pass the turn. Are you going to do a Midnight Release? Ooh, probably not. Are you going to do a Midnight pre-release? I haven't done a Midnight pre-release in a long time. Sunspine Lynx has 0 shot of seeing play up to the sideboard card. I think you're underrating Sunspine Lynx. It's a 4-mana 5/4, and it hates on stuff, and it deals a bunch of damage. The card's so good. Wow, opponents, all about them raccoons. Well, play the land. Play the Swordmaster. Oh, do we Offspring? Yeah, let's not. Let's just play the Swordmaster as a 1/1. Play Mabel. Pump our mice. Make an equipment. Pump the hero. I mean, this is just where you see how mice can get so explosive out of nowhere. Like, all of a sudden, the mouse board is huge, and we might be set up to just win the game next turn. Much worse card than, say, Thundering Raju, which saw 0 play. Thundering Raju is a very, very different card, right? Thundering Raju requires you to have a big board of go-wide creatures to do anything, and then it needs to attack into the Shieldred, and it doesn't get through a Shieldred. Sunspine Lynx is a 5/4. It's a 5/4 for 4, and it's an ETB trigger. Huh. What shenanigans? You know what? I think we just take it. If they can kill us somehow, I guess they kill us somehow. I think we're just going to try to kill them on the backswing. Bring it, raccoons. Bring it. Down to 9. All right, opponent. Show us that toxic deluge. Show us that toxic deluge. About it. Going to cut down the Raging Battle Mouse. Takes the damage to do it. And then, wow, all right. Go for the throat. So, well, I mean, we'll just go to combat, attack. I mean, I think we win here, right? We should win here. Oh, no, we can only cast one of them. Oh, that's so much worse. Only makes red mana for creature spells. Oh, that's way worse. Maybe we don't win here. Maybe we lose here. Oh, wait, is Rockfall Village bad? No, I don't think it's got to be. I don't think it's bad. I just think it's a very strong card that'll have an influence on how things play. Yeah, that kind of really screws us, doesn't it? Huh. Well, yeah, Monstrous Rage, I guess. Down to 3. And yeah, I mean, I guess we would have done this before. Yeah, we'll equip. Should have done that before. I thought we could cast double Monstrous Rage. Was not thinking about the downside of Rockfall Village. Yeah, I mean, it's a punt, yeah. We should have just equipped. I thought we could just double Monstrous Rage, but these lands are a little worse than they look. They're a little worse than they look. Hopefully we're still good. Like, we have another Monstrous Rage in hand. We have 2 trampling creatures. If this dies, our opponent dies. Like, it should be hard for our opponent to get out of this. We could actually just kill the Heartfire hero. That might be the... Wow, opponent. Expends, says GG. Alright, let's win in the cute way. We're going to go to combat. We're going to attack. This can target our own creature, right? Ha-ha! Ha-ha! Got him! I mean, I think the question is, how many villages do you play? I think it really depends on... Let's do another game or two with mice and we'll move on. So I think it really depends on the deck, right? So if you look at our mouse deck, there might be an argument that mice... Actually, I don't even know if that matters. That might have just been an unlucky situation. Because if you look at the deck list, we have 4 Monstrous Rages, 2 Get Lost, 2 Witchstalker's Frenzies, that could be a problem with the Rockface Village and the Lupin Flower Village. But really, we have 30 creatures. So even if those are like colorless lands, we only have 8 spells. So I kind of feel like it should be okay. I think that's just like an odd situation where we specifically needed 2 Monstrous Rages. So hopefully it's fine. We'll see. If it keeps coming up, then that would make it a little worse. The other question for this deck is Whiskervale Forerunner worth it? It's very powerful, but... Ooh, Vine Lash, eh? It's very powerful, but it's also kind of expensive. Like, so far we haven't gotten to 4 mana once with this deck. So I'm not even sure, like, are these lizards about to pop off? Oh boy, here they come. Burning Tree Gecko. Yeah, gets back the mana for free. Well, this is a quick one. Just like Burning Tree Emissary, when you draw 2 of them in your opening hand, you win. Those are the rules of Burning Tree Emissary draws. Sometimes you just draw a bunch of them and you get the free win. That's the reason to put them into your deck, I would say. Pound it. More Vine Lashing. Lost Jitty is crazy with mice. Yeah, it seems pretty good. I think equipment do synergize pretty well with mice. Is there any realistic way of getting out of this? So we can like play a Manifold Mouse and then get lost something. I think we actually got to play Mabel. We need a body that can block here. Well, I mean, I guess we attack with the battle mouse down to 16. About it. And I think we're seeing the lizard dream here. Double Ride Lasher, double Burning Tree Lizard, and a fetch land. It's all coming together for the lizards. It is all coming together. I think lizards, where do you rank lizards in the tier list of Bloomburrow creature types? I think I would put lizards somewhere in the middle. We got even more? We got even more to go with it? We drop to 2. We draw a land that doesn't cast things. I don't think we can literally win the game this turn, which is going to be a problem. So we can play the Lupine Village. There's no way we can actually do it, right? So we can play Manifold Mouse. Yeah, we just can't deal enough damage, even with the Monstrous Rage. So Manifold Mouse gives double strike. So you go to combat. I guess we give Mabel double strike. Go attacking. Even if our opponent doesn't block, I don't think we can win from here. Okay, opponent randomly takes a damage. Wait, is there any way our opponent can throw this away? So opponent blocks, so we can Monstrous Rage. Yeah, it's not enough. Wow! You know what? If that thing didn't have Ward pay 2 life, we could have won there. If that thing didn't have, even after all that, if that didn't have Ward pay 2 life, we would have actually won. With our opponent having like the best possible lizard start that I've seen. Wow. Monstrous Rage pre-combat would have won. Wait, why would Monstrous Rage pre-combat would have won? Also, why didn't Raging Battle Mouse trigger? Oh, Raging Battle Mouse only triggers at the beginning of combat? Huh. It's a weird way for that ability to be worded. Still, it only gets +1 though, right? So it would have still been a point of damage short. Opponent, Heartfire Hero. Well, Cavern on mouse. All right, last game with mice, and then we're gonna switch it up. What are we playing next? What are we playing next? Now let's get in with the challenger. Hit ya down to 18. And about it. Manifold Mouse. Frogs next. Bats next. Are there any creature types that you don't care about seeing? Are there any that, or do we just need to play all the creature types? Play the land. So let's Raging Battle Mouse. Actually, So Raging Battle Mouse is 2. We could just play Mabel. But then we don't trigger. Are we trying to race, or are we trying to play defensively? That's kind of the question. All right, let's Raging Battle Mouse. Monstrous Rage, the challenger. Pre-combat to trigger our Battle Mouse. Exile a land. Pump it. That's a big challenger. That's a big challenger coming at you. Opponent down to 11. Yeah, rats are one of the tribes that have support from previous sets, which is nice. I feel like rats might just be a control deck, though. Raccoons are one of the creature types that I think are least likely to be competitive. I do have a raccoon deck, though. They're just kind of mid-range. They seem slower than a lot of the other Bloomburrow creature types. Rats are cool, though. I do like rats. I think, historically, rats and squirrels probably have the most support out of any of the Bloomburrow. Are we dead if we don't block here? I guess we're... Yeah, we're gonna... I mean, you gotta... Yeah, alright. Well... we dropped to 2. And a manifold mouse. So now we just gotta win, right? We just gotta win this turn. That should be easy. I'm starting to think the mana base needs more colored mana, because we've kind of run into it again here, right? Where we want a Monstrous Rage and Witchstalker's Fury. We can't do it. So this already has Trample. So if we Heartfire Hero... So we Heartfire Hero. Monstrous Rage on the Battle Mouse. Wow. We almost managed to break serve. Yeah. And then we die. You want to see otters? So otters are pretty spell slingery. So mice... Yeah, the problem we ran into with the mana base, and I think it might be a reason to cut down just a little bit on, maybe we go like 2 villages each, and then just add maybe just a couple more basics. I don't know if we want to tap dual land, like a Surveil land or a creature land. The mana base might be better like that. 4 caverns, I guess 4 caverns probably not necessary in early access day. It's probably very necessary in full standard, when control is probably going to be pretty popular. Early access day, you probably get away without playing caverns because no one plays control. But I think that's probably the way forward, because we did have multiple games where we wanted to be able to cast like Witchstalker's Frenzy plus Monstrous Rage or double Monstrous Rage, and because of the village or the cavern we couldn't do it. So I think maybe we just got to cut down a couple of villages. We didn't really find time to activate the villages that much either. Like, that's the other thing. They're really nice if the game goes long, but finding time to like sack a land or even pay 2 to give something haste, the deck just plays so quickly that it doesn't actually matter that much. All right, so that's mice. I mean, mice, I would be if you're a best of 1 player, be prepared for the mice, because I fully suspect that we're gonna see mice be one of the best decks in the format. I think it's a very good best of 3 deck too. Do you have a Calamity Beast deck? So like a deck that's... I have decks with Calamity Beast in them. I don't have any deck that's like all the Calamity Beasts together or anything. I haven't built that yet. Blooming Blast is really good. That's really good. All right, let's try frogs. People want to see frogs. So what is the gimmick of frogs in Bloomburrow? And essentially, it's all like weird, tricky, self-blinky stuff where they reward you for bouncing your own creatures, for blinking your own creatures. So essentially, we have stuff like Dream Dew Enchanter, that when it ETBs, you can tap a creature, but stun counters on it. If it's your creature, you draw a card, so you can like play this, tap something down, and then when you play something else, you can use Clement to bounce it back to your hand. Or if you blink something, you have Dowerport Mage, you can pick it up with Mistbreath Elder, and then replay it to trigger your Dowerport Mage, and then recast the Dream Dew Enchanter. So it's very much like a synergy creature type, where you're going to be like bouncing your own things back to your own. It's an exact opposite. It is. That's what they're playing up, right? Is like frogs hopping. Like, that's kind of what it's trying to play like, is the hoppiness of frogs. I will say the key card is very likely Valiant Might Caller. I think this card might be kind of busted. It's essentially Champion of the Parish, except it has Trample. And Champion of the Perished, or Champion of the Perished, they're both really good cards, and they don't have Trample. So the fact that this is essentially that with Trample really, really scares me. So let's try some frogs. Let's try some frogs. Do we need to... So what? All right, let's look at this mana base real quick. We have Polywallop, which is 1 green mana, and then Long River's Pull, which is double blue mana. All right, we'll cut down. We'll cut down on the villages and add some more basics. Well, after our experience with the mice, I think it's worth it. Maybe something like that. All right, let's try some frogs. Let's do some. Actually, I don't think we can play. I don't know if 3 Tree City is good. Period in this deck. Frogs seem like one of the worst decks for it. So let's only play one of them. All right, let's try some frogs and see. Frogs, I'm very interested in. I think frogs might be at its best when... Yeah, that's... The unread messages are just arena. Arena spam. Arena loves spamming you. First impressions is... The set's very aggressive. At least so far, the set's very aggressive. The 1-drops and the aggro stuff is really shining so far. I think frogs, we'll see. There's another frog-ish deck that's like combining frogs with other stuff. And I think that might be the best way to build frogs. Like, maybe frogs are not an only frog deck, but like the kind of Panharmonicon, Elish Norn, Blink Effect, like maybe that's the way you go and you have like some frogs, but also some non-frogs. I feel like that might actually be the best way to build it. I mean, but the counter has a frog on it. How can you not play it in the frog deck? Come on about it. Everyone's afraid of our frogs. Don't even wanna play. What are you doing, Cease? Where are you? All right, it is frog time, and ooh. I feel like this is the weird frog nut draw. So we get to play Valley Mightcaller, and then Mistbreath Elder to pick up the pawn prop. Okay, we can do this. We will keep. I mean, I think just as Valley Mightcaller is the card that makes all this work anyway. Valley Mightcaller, Champion of the Frog Parish. How is being a cat owner going? I'm still not really a cat person, honestly. I love CC, and nothing against CC personally, but still, I think I'm still more of a dog person. Cats, I haven't really found cats to offer a relationship like dogs do. Like, Cia just kind of does her own thing and lives in my house and meows at me when she wants food. Bear, like, is much more, wants attention, wants stuff like that. So it's definitely a little different than a dog, but it's going well. Well, let's play a lily pad village. I think we got to get down the pawn profit first, because if we play this, we're gonna have to start bouncing things back to our hand. Get in with the Mightcaller, hit you for 2. Frogs versus mice. Cats really are roommates. It very much is. Yeah, we'll have to try the other. Oh, here comes the Manifold Mouse. This start's just so explosive. Like, 1-drop mouse with Valiant into Manifold Mouse to give it double strike is just such a fast start. It's such a fast start. Ooh, Polywallop. So I think we just play a pawn profit. Draw another card. Grow our frogs. Ooh, there's the Dream Druid Enchanter. Play the land. Go to combat. Actually, we could just kill it now. Yeah, let's just kill it now. So, Mightcaller, kill the Manifold Mouse. Out of here. And smack you for 4. Okay. It's kind of working. Hey, what's up, J Morgan? How are you? Yeah, frogs are the tribe I'm most excited for. Just because it's like so Ooh, what? Spellbook Vendor. Interesting. I mean, I guess that does technically trigger Valiant. I don't know if it's worth it, but it does. Opponent gets in, gets to scry. Well, no blocks. Down to 12. When another creature you control leaves the battlefield without dying, put a +1/+1 counter on Huh. We could play this. What is our game plan? This is probably best. So let's play Misprith Elder. Grow the Dork. 3 Tree Scribe. Grow the Dork. Go to combat. Hit you for 5. Down to 9. And Polywallop's an instant. So we can leave up our removal at instant speed. No virtue of knowledge. It's pretty much all frogs. Although virtue of knowledge could be good in this deck. We'll have to try the Bant. We'll have to try the Bant build of frogs with Elish Norn. That's kind of the more Panharmonicon-y version. I've never had a frog for a pet. I had a turtle for a pet once. Had a turtle, dog, cat. About it. Spellbook Vinda. What would you change in the mana base? Sora. Dylan Hunter, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super, thank you. Thank you. Okay. So that has vigilance. That does not. All right, go ahead, opponent. Go ahead. Let's see what you got. Opponent attacks. Inti triggers. Discards a Seedglaive Mentor. Sure. Hits a Heartfire Hero. Now let's... still doesn't give us guaranteed lethal, does it? Alright, let's block and block. Actually, let's block and block. See if our opponent has any interaction. If they have a pump spell, we can Polywallop. Sure. So we drop to 7 for now. There's the Heartfire Hero. Well, Polywallop. Kill the Inti. This should just be game, right? So kill the Inti, and then Entrancer, tap down the hero. So pick up the Pawn Prophet. Dream to Entrancer. Comes down. Heartfire Hero, tap it, stun it, grow it, and death? Oh, okay, frogs, better than mice, Seth, do you have any thoughts on Yagra as a commander? Ever since I saw the card, I've been really excited to play with it. Actually, that is the first commander I'm playing for Commander Clash with the new set. Maybe frogs are actually good. We just took down probably the most played deck during early access and kind of smacked him. Do you think we're McGarry for the 78th month? Welcome back to the Fishbowl. Big soup here for you. And Iron Phone, welcome you as well. Do you think we're finally going to be out of value pile standard? I think we're going into aggro standard. That is my current guess. Just based on what I've seen so far and the cards in the set, I think we're heading into a very aggressive standard. We'll see. I mean, maybe the busted mid-range stuff still wins out, but my expectation is we're going to see a lot more aggro. I think just in the new set, the best cards are mostly aggro cards. Oh yeah, we gotta after this game, the secret lair drop. I forgot all about that. Oh, I'm having my central lair fixed yearly maintenance now. Is yours fixed? Mine is not fixed yet. I have to get a new one. So they came and looked at it and said it would take a couple weeks to like order it and actually get out here to fix it. So I'm hoping next week they'll get here and actually do it. But yeah, mine, I guess it was, oh boy, it ends up being expensive, but I guess it like came with my house, which is like 25 years old now. So not only do I got to do the AC, but they're like, your furnace is also the same age. It technically works now, but you should probably just replace that too, because it's definitely going to go, because it's past its life expectancy. So I guess they're just going to do the AC and the furnace, and then it'll all be done at least. Ooh, slick shot show off. Do I think Foundations will shake up Standard? I don't know if the goal of Foundations is really to shake up Standard. I'll play a land. Play Clement. Submit 0. This is actually interesting. What do we do here? We could just draw a bunch of cards. How much do we care about this Valley Might Caller? Like, we could Dowerport Mage. Pick up the Might Caller. Draw 2. Is that better than attacking? We don't know. We've only seen like 4 cards from Foundations. We know there's Llanowar Elves, Wrath of God, Omniscience. Isn't Llanowar a little too strong for a Standard? I mean, traditionally over the last like 10 years, Wizards has felt that way. There's only been rare occasions when they actually allow a 1-mana Mana Dork in Standard. So I was surprised. I'm worried about death. Oh, let's just attack. Let's get in there. I think we got to try to kill our opponent. It would be nice to just draw a bunch of cards, but I think we're against the Slick Shot show off. Death could be right around the corner. Death could be coming at any moment. I mean, I like value piles. I actually thought Last Standard was pretty fun. I don't mind like mid-range. The only thing I'll say about the mid-rangey standards, I enjoy playing them. Although the one big downside is when all your matches are like 40 minutes long, not the best for content. I definitely remember having like some streams where it feels like we play like 3 matches through the entire stream. Opponent popping off. It says to 10. Well, let's play a Cavern on Frog. This is not looking good. Not looking good. Play another Dowerport Mage. Grow the Valley Might Caller. Go to combat. Hit ya. Down to 9. So we have the Long Reverse pull, but that doesn't stop us from dying to a Slick Shot show off. Mount land. Hey, thanks for stopping by, Dumblers. Have a good one. I mean, what do you prefer? Do you prefer aggro standard or more mid-rangey standard? Demonic Ruckus. +1/+1 menace and trample. Okay. I mean, we're not dead yet. Four, 5, 6. The problem is we can't win on the backswing, which is... That is an issue. That is an issue, because it's hard for your hero. Opponent goes attacking. Down to 3. Another Heartfire hero. I mean, I guess we counter it. Counter it. Oh, we're gonna be like a turn slow. Come on, deck. I don't know what's in our deck that gets us out of this. Maybe the Tapping Frog. That's probably the best. Cheeky House Mouse. Oh, definitely not a land. All right. Oh, this is very bad. So Menace Trample. I'll go to combat. Hit you with a Might Caller. Oh, we really don't want to have to do this, but I think we got to pick up the Might Caller to the Dowerport Mage. We're just in desperation mode. Draw 2 cards. Yeah, that doesn't do it. Well, play the Lily Pad. Play the Clement. Play the Might Caller. And die. Hey, Seth, I watched your Texas video in Modern. Do you think that parts are there to make Taxes work in Standard? I think Dragonhawk's very good. Dragonhawk, I think, is very strong. Ral, I don't actually have a Ral deck built yet. So you could jam a couple of copies in like an Otter deck or something, but I haven't really figured out exactly how best to use Ral. This is an expensive hand. We're going to try it, though. We do have Double Dream Duru. Well, Cavern. Frog. Let our opponent know what's up. Hey, Seth, any Historic Brawl videos in the future? I was watching your Saltiest Brawl deck on his Saltiest Deck Historic Brawl video on YouTube, and it was hilarious. I'm sure there will be. I don't have one that's like recorded and coming out this week or anything, but there definitely will be more coming in the future. Ooh, opponent. All right, Frogs versus Frogs. Gets in with the Elder. Sure. Ooh, 3-Tree City. Well, play Clement. And pass the turn. Play some defense. Opponent's got to pick up. So do you think Misbreath Elder is actually good? So you have to pick up a creature. Our opponent can keep growing things. So they're going to make this Misbreath Elder pretty big. But it also kind of locks you out of doing other things. Opponent grows the Elder. Dowerport Mage. Gets in for 5. Unfortunately, we take it. Ooh, Polywallop, sweet. Well, land on Frog. So I think what we do, this is actually going to be a sweet turn. This is twice the damage, right? Target creature you control deals damage equal to twice its power. So what we can do is tap this. Tap this. Oh, this is actually going to be a pretty good turn. Tap this. And this. Dream Dew Entrancer. That can... Clement's not going to do anything. That can tap down the Dowerport Mage. And then Polywallop can take down the Misbreath Elder. And the problem has been dealt with. Now we're super far ahead. Now we're super far ahead. Do I like Bloomburrow so far? Yeah, Bloomburrow seems super sweet so far. I mean, it's early access day, so it's you can't make any too harsh determinations yet, but so far, so good. We're playing Frogs right now. Some Simic Frog action. I think Winter. I think Winter's the coolest. Opponent gets it for 1. Decides to pick it up and draws a card. Well, Cavern on Frog. So what's our plan now? I think we need to draw some cards somehow. When this enters, target creature you control can't be blocked this turn. Whenever that creature... Okay, so it only works for 1 turn, right? So it's a 1-turn effect. So I think we can just... 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's play a Dream Dew Entrancer. No. Tap down our Dream to Entrance or draw some cards. Dream to Entrancer. Tap. Oh. No. Tap down the Entrancer, draw some cards. Okay, that was not a bad turn. That was not a bad turn. The Dream to Entrancer is very tapped, Pawn Profit. But we have the 3-tree city going. We have stopped the aggro for now, I think. And now we can start picking up this Dream to Entrancer and really going to town. Okay, this is gonna be sweet. So, 1, 2. Actually, no, that's not right. How do we do this? We need blue mana. Okay, 1, 2. 3-tree city. Make 5 blue. Dowerport Mage. Pick up the Dream to Entrancer. Draw a card. Dream to Entrancer. Tap an Entrancer. Draw 2 more cards. Play the land. Dowerport Mage. And pass turn. The value, the frog value. Yeah, that Entrancer is not untapping. It is not untapping, like, ever. Yeah, Bloomburrow is by far the cutest art of a Magic set since maybe ever? I want to say ever, but maybe it's like since Lorwyn. It's been a long time since we've seen a Magic set this cute. I think we're gonna end up winning this because we have access to 3-tree city and our opponent does not. Pawn Profit, draw a card. Play a land. 3-tree city. Make a little blue, just a little blue, like 7. And then Dowerport. Oh man, frogs are so cool. Pick up the tap Dream Drew. This is my kind of Magic. This is exactly my kind of Magic. Pick it up, draw a couple cards. There's a Polywallop. Now we can play the screw. Tap Clement for a green. Play the Scribe. Dream to Entrancer. Tap the Pawn Profit. And then pick up the Pawn Profit. And then get a few triggers and grow the Dowerport. The synergies. And then Mist Breath Elder. And Mist Breath Elder. And then maybe a little Pawn Profit. Actually, no, let's Dowerport. We don't need to draw a card here. Dowerport Mage? No. And no. Oh, we are frogging off. We are kind of frogging off at the moment. Opponent, can you beat our mighty frogs? Opponent, Cavern, Valley Might. Oh, see, that is what we need. We do need a Valley Might Caller. That's what we're missing. We've drawn almost half of our deck, though. We're hopping to it. Opponent picks it up, draws a card. But where's your 3-tree city? Where's your 3-tree city, opponent? Pawn Profit, returns. So many rats in Standard right now. Do you think Harmonix could be a sleeper card? I think Harmonix definitely has gotten a lot better. That's for sure. Well, pick it up. Draw some cards. Pick it up. Draw some cards. Oh my goodness. So many cards. All right. Pick up the Mistbreath Elders. Grow a Dowerport Mage. How do we kill our opponent, though? We need our opponent to actually die. We need to find a way to make them die because we were drawing our entire deck. So. All right. Make a green. Mistbreath Elder. Make a green. Misbreath Elder. We only have 26 cards left in our deck. That might be a problem. Make a green. Misbreath Elder. Make a green. Oh, we don't want to tap too much. All right, let's make some green with our 3-tree city. Make some green. 3-tree scribe. No. Pawn Profit. Draw a card. No. Pawn Profit. Draw a card. No. Holy lands. That is a lot of lands. Ocala Village. Put a counter on our stuff. Lilypad Village. Scry a bit. Ah, there's the Valley Might Caller. That's what we were looking for. That's what we were missing. And then let's Polywallop. To get rid of the Dowerport Mage. And pay the 1. So it almost feels like a really good game of Limited. It kind of feels like a really interesting game of Limited that we're playing right now. Discard. It's Frog Motion. Mono green Fog Motion. How's Standard looking and feeling so far? I mean, this game's been super fun. If Standard is just all Frog Mirrors, it might be the best Standard of all time. Another Clement. Okay. Sure. I mean, I'm pretty sure we're winning this almost exclusively because we have the 3-tree city. I'm pretty sure that is the key difference here between our two decks. We switch decks after this game. Maybe. Just because... Oh, we've only played 2 games with Frogs, but... But this match is so long, maybe it counts as multiples. We do have a lot of decks to get to. What do you want to see next, LV? NG Fuel Cold. What are you building, Chill Fox? All right, opponent. Grows the dorks, grows the dorks. Grows the dorks. Plays the Druid. Well, all right. So I think now we have to Polywallop. Take down the Valley Might Caller. Pay the ward. All right, the rest of this is fine. There is a squirrel deck. What do you call... I don't know. What do you call a sad frog? Dream Dew. I mean, we're tapped down, opponent. This is your chance. Can you find a way to deal 11 points of damage somehow? Oh, God. Opponent passes. So, pick up a Misbreath Elder. We need to find a way to close out this game because we're gonna mill out. We're gonna mill out with frogs. We are actually just gonna mill ourselves out because we're drawing too many cards with these Dowerport Mages, and we can't say no to this. We have to pick them up. Maybe we just have to stop playing them. All right, grow the Entrancer. Go the Entrancer. 21 cards in the deck. 19 cards in the deck. 18 cards in the deck. Pick up the 1-drop. Grow the Frog. Grow the Frog. Okay, can we win this game somehow? Well, here we go. So, tap you for green. I wish we had haste. Haste would be sweet. Where's... All right, here's the Valley Might Caller. Play the Valley Might Caller. Tap you for green. Play the Misbreath Elder. Tap you for green. Tap you for green. Play a Pawn Profit. Draw a card. No. Tap you for green. Tap you for green. 3-tree Scribe. Grow the Dorks. And now the real fun. 1 and 2. Make just a... Oh, actually, maybe we gotta leave up these counters. Maybe leaving up the counters is the most important thing. Do we just pass? Are we gonna mill out next turn? Is this a May? Whenever one or more other creatures leave the battlefield without dying, draw a card. How do we do this without milling out? Oh no. Oh no, not like this. Not like this. Oh, that's so awkward. That's so awkward. Yeah, we might have to start bouncing them back to our hand just to not have them on the battlefield. That might be where we're headed here. This Valley Might Caller is going to close out the game eventually. All right, 1, 2. Let's make blue mana. All right, let's go to combat. Let's do some attacking. Let's get in with these entrancers. See what our opponent does. We need to start. We got to start pressuring. We got to close. Doppelgang would be so ridiculous. I didn't realize frogs would play like this. Honestly, I didn't expect this to be how. Like, I could see how frogs could play like this, but I thought in practice this would be unlikely to happen. But apparently, frogs just build it up. All right, so we can 1, 2. Dowerport Mage. Pick up a Dowerport Mage. Grow the Entrancer. Grow the Entrancer. Grow the Entrancer. Wait, can we win here? 6, 12, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24? Oh, so close. We also need to not lose on the backswing. Okay. So opponent goes to 8. We will play a Mistbreath Elder. Play a Mistbreath Elder. Play a Mistbreath Elder. Oh! Oh no! What did Arena just do? And it activated an ability? Oh my goodness! Oh no! That's gonna kill us. Oh, that's very likely to kill us now. Oh, that's bad. That's real bad. And we don't get to leave up a counter? Oh, this is a problem. This is a big, maybe kinda deadly problem. Oh no. We can play an Entrancer, I guess. We might as well, because we can't do anything else now. Oh, that's actually really bad for us. Tap down the Entrance. Pick up a Dowerport Mage. Tap down an Entrancer. Pay the ward. Draw a couple cards. Put counters on things. Put counters on things. This deck is wild. Did we break it with frogs? Did we somehow break it with frogs? Okay, counters on things. Timeout used. All we have is green mana, so we can play a Mistbreath Elder. And pass the turn? All right, that's not what we wanted to do, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't even know what happened there, actually. Discard a million cards. Oh, I really wanted to leave up those counters. That was the plan, to leave up all the counters. I don't know what Arena, like... I'm not sure what Arena did there. That's kind of the issue. We tried to tap Oak Hollow Village for a mana, and Arena somehow decided to tap our 3-tree city for 15 mana and leave it all floating. It only had 3-tree city to make green, so... see that... I think that has to be incorrect. Like, I guess that's what it was trying to do, is you did not make mana... Okay, so even if... I would say, even if I misclicked on Oak Hollow Village and clicked +1/+1 counter, rather than add a mana, I think the idea that it would tap a 3-tree city for 15 mana to do that is absolutely insane. That would be my criticism. This is Arena that... This is Arena that hardly will auto-tap a, like, Field of Ruin because you might need it someday. But then it'll just willy-nilly tap the 3-tree city for 15 mana to activate a 1-mana green ability? Oh yeah, Cathar's Crusade. Arena's brain would not be able to stand that. Alright, about it. I'm gonna make a frog unblockable. If we lose, it is because of Arena's mistapping there. Like, if we lose, that does it. Found it. Frog and grows the dork. Wow. Opponent passes. And opponent scoops. Wow. Okay, wait. Frogs might... Are frogs good? Look at this battlefield. Look at... We have 9 cards left in our deck. I mean, I guess we were in the frog mirror, so it was like the dirtiest match that I've ever seen. But but that was actually very, very wild game. Okay, we'll move on. We gotta do one more with frogs to see. Maybe that was just because it was the mirror and neither one of us had much interaction. Need to see the list. Deck list, if you need any of the deck lists we play, ! Deck, they're all on the deck, dog. It was a riveting match. Oh, very, very good, Shuri Wolf. Helga and Elish Norn seem nuts. Yeah, we'll try this. We'll try it. Sanctum, go. And not as exciting as the last one. I mean, have you ever tried to catch a frog? I think that played almost exactly like trying to catch a frog plays in real life. They're always like, you almost get them and then they like hop away. They're real slippery. That actually did represent frogs in real life surprisingly well. Hey, what's up, Mega Magic Garf? How are you? Good to see you. Oh, play the land. Get in with the 3-tree scribe. Hit ya. Down 18. Cachet grab. Yeah, we're not gonna counter that. Go ahead. Mill away, friend, mill away. So opponent's playing Camella combo. Also curious to see if Camella combo is good. Our opponent croaked. We croaked him. It was riveting. The tax collector video was awesome. Nice to see a winning record with Death and Taxes White Weenie. Speaking of grindy matches, my goodness. That deck plays a very, very grindy long games. But yeah, we managed to squeak out the 3-2. Tax Collector actually felt really good. I thought Tax Collector itself, that might actually be a good Modern card. Oh, did you see that Modern Wizard says no bannings? No bannings until the end of August. Wizards loves Nadu. They just love Nadu. And Grief, apparently. Random question. One of these days, can we get a studio tour and see how you edit and how your office set up for content? Feels like an easier video to make, and I'd love to see how many Magic cards you see as Claude. Yeah, we could probably do that at some point. Do we counter this? Does this matter? Until end of turn, yeah, that probably does matter. All right, we're just gonna counter that. Long River's pull. Out of here. out of here. Osteomancer Adept. Well, let's play the land. Get in with the 3-tree Scribe. Play the Entrancer. Tap down the Scribe. Draw a couple of cards. Pass the turn. The funniest part was it was filmed like an apology video. Yeah, wasn't it? Oh, poor Blake. I will say, I saw some people like kind of being mean to Blake. Don't be mean to Blake. Blake's just the messenger. It's not, Blake does not have power over this. Blake doesn't get to choose what isn't banned. He just has the unfortunate job of telling a bunch of people who are going to be very angry what other people decided. They pretty much said it in the video. Like, they even said, yeah, it's pretty likely to have some bannings or whatever. Like, wow, opponent, I mean, you got to pay mana for it, you know, right? Like, this does not get around paying the mana cost on your creatures. Like, that would be very, that does not work that way, right? They have to pay mana. You may cast creatures by foraging in addition to paying their other costs. If this just tapped and let you recast your graveyard, that would be the most broken 2-drop I've ever seen. So. Well, let's go to combat. Let's kill this Tyvar. Let's play Valley Might Caller. Play an island. I would like to draw more cards, but instead, I think we need to stun the squirrel for a few turns. Stun the squirrel. Tap it down. Pass the turn. Hey, what's up, Roberto Mods? How are you? Good to see you. Good to see you. How's the streamer bet going? I have a bunch of rematches. It's way... Ooh, Yagra. It is much better than it was before. Much better. They've actually... The first one, when they brought it back, they just didn't let enough people into it, and it was very bad because of that. But they've decided to let more people in since then, so we haven't been playing all the duplicate matchups or anything. Ooh, I haven't discussed the Neheb news, but we should. Remind me after this match, because we got to talk about the secret lair drop. There's actually... Wizards might have found a way to make me buy a secret lair drop. They might have actually done it. How do we not die to... It says, ward sack a creature. So I think we... play Dowerport Mage. Play Yavimaya Coast. Dream to Entrancer seems really good. Tap down the Yagra. Sack our food scribe here. And then hit you for a bunch. Down to 5. All right, opponent. If you can go infinite, you can go infinite. So you need Kamala, you need Yagra, and you need Bart. Those are the pieces our opponent needs to go infinite. Right now they got the Yagra, so they need Kamala and Bart. We saw Bart in the graveyard. There's a bug that doesn't let us pull up the graveyard, so we can't look at it. But there is a Bart. I'm pretty sure there's a Bart in the graveyard. Otherwise, hopefully we just win this turn. Oh my god, there's Kamala. Oh no. You got the Bart? Are we actually going to see Kamala go infinite? Oh, they also, to win with it though, they also need to level up the Scavenger's talent. So I don't think they can go fully infinite. Even if they have the Bart. They could make an infinitely big Yagra, but it's tapped down. Without this being leveled up, it doesn't mill us out. Opponent passes. I mean, this should be game, right? This should be game. So we can play Valley Might Caller. Grow the Dorks. Play Clement. Grow the Dorks. And I mean, we got to go for it. They could have removal, I guess. Grow the Might Callers. Go to combat. Here we come. Swing with the crew. Hold. Wait, maybe frogs are good. I was thinking frogs were going to be janky, but maybe frogs are actually good. Frogs might actually be good. Bartoli di Prezzi. I'm not allowed to pronounce names from other countries, apparently. But yes, I just call him Bart so I don't get yelled at on Twitter. Opponent blocks with a Camellia. Hey, what's up, Stoner? Right? How are you? Good to see you. But they can't get out of this, right? This doesn't have haste, so they can't sack this for life. They would need 2 removal spells, and they have a Painland mana base. Okay. Forage. Counters. And death. Wow. Opponent almost got there. Opponent almost got there with the combo. How are you, Stone Raid? Okay, so here's the big news. I don't know if you saw this yesterday, but Wizards announced a new Secret Lair drop, and I usually don't buy Secret Lairs. It takes a very specific Secret Lair to get me, but they announced Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Secret Lairs coming for the first time ever. And I think they actually got me. I think this will actually make me buy Secret Lairs. I do have very fond memories of Monty Python Holy Grail. Although I will say Life of Brian, I think, is actually even better than Holy Grail. Holy Grail is more quotable, and the cards are kind of perfect. We actually have Tim as Prodigal Sorcerer, which is where the nickname Tim of Prodigal Sorcerer comes from, is actually Monty Python and the Holy Grail. So the meme has come full circle. 30 years later, it actually has happened. So we get Tim as Prodigal Sorcerer. Bring out your dead, buried alive. One of the best moments in the movie. The movie has so many funny parts, but yeah, I'm getting better. Oh, it's so good. And then 'Tis But a Scratch for Dismember with the Black Knight. His arm is definitely off. And then, this might be the best part. There's a African swallow and also a European swallow. And then we want a Shrubbery for 3 visits. Door to Nothingness is the Death Bridge. Sir Bedivire's Scale is Ashnod's Altar. Dark Depths is Castle of Og. And then the Black Beast of Og is a Meryl Age. I gotta say, this is probably my favorite Secret Lair they've made. What is Monty Python's Holy Grail still considered a classic? I don't. How many of you have watched it? How many of you have actually watched? Ooh, Norn the Wary as Brave Sir Robin would be a. How many of you have seen Holy Grail? Because I know at Goldfish, Richard's never seen it. Tomer's never seen it. I thought Krim hadn't seen it, but maybe I'm confusing Krim and Tomer. Because I thought it was Richard and Krim that hadn't saw it, and Tomer had. But then Tomer's like, I haven't seen it either. So I don't know how they haven't seen it. How have so many people not seen? Isn't that like Nerd 101? Not that I can say much, because there's tons of things that all right, one more frog game, I guess, because I already loaded it, and then we'll switch. I can't say much because there's lots of things other people have seen that I haven't seen, so I can't really say too much, but I'm surprised that there's not people who haven't seen it. Okay, so let me ask you this then. How many of you, it is pretty old, that is true. How many of you have seen Life of Brian then? I feel like Holy Grail is one of those movies that it might be the only Monty Python thing a lot of people have watched. It's so I think I can see how people could be offended by Life of Brian, but I think I grew up in a super Christian family, so growing up in the super fundamentalist Christian family, to me I think it's super funny because it is kind of poking at religion a little bit, so I find it funny. Ooh, opponent's got Lunar Convocation and Ruin Lurker Bat. 1 mana, 1/1 flying lifelink. Immediate ends up if you descended Scry 1. Huh. Well, let's play Cavern. Cavern on Frog. Actually, surprisingly, and I can't believe I'm saying this, so far frogs are doing better for us than mice did, and I thought mice would easily be the best deck out of the more competitive out of the 2 decks. But so far, frogs has actually felt stronger than mice to me. The Always Look at the Bright Side of Life is just so good. That's one of my favorite movie scenes. Not just of Monty Python, but of all time. It's just so incredibly perfect. Let's pick up the Dowerport Mage. Draw a card. Grow the Dork. And now we can play a Clement. And no. And then we can tap this to play another Mistbreath Elder. And then a Sanctum. And go attacking. Smack you for 6. Down to 9. All right, opponent, this is your chance. Always look on the bright side of life. Always look on the bright side of life. So good. It's so good. I'm pretty sure, like, when I die, I think that's the song I want played at my funeral. If I have a funeral, that's the one. Just play that and whistle. What is my favorite Monty Python sketch? Oh, I watch a lot of like Monty Python sketches at one point. It's been so long. A lot of them are Monty Python, a lot of them are incredibly funny, but then the ones that aren't funny are like incredibly unfunny because they have this thing. They have it must be a theory. I've never read about it. Yeah, the Dead Parrot's really good. The Ministry of Silly Walks is pretty funny, but they also have this thing about like some of their jokes are just making the joke go way too long, even though it's not funny. And the thing that's supposed to be funny about it, I think, is just like how long they keep doing it. But those are not always actually as funny as they think. Like some of those, when it hits, it can be really funny. But when you do that style of joke and it misses, it is so incredibly painful where they just like go on for 10 minutes. Like, it's not even funny. It's not even funny. I know you think it's funny, but it's not. Like, can you see him stop doing that? Oh, is the Uppercrust Twat of the Year the Olympics one? Where they make them... What was the Olympics one? It might be that one. Where they did like... they had to go through like Olympic events. Oh, I like vaguely remember it, but I think it was super funny. All right, so we need to do something here. So first, we'll play a Mistbreath Elder. We need to not time out. That's number one. Play a Mistbreath Elder. We can tap this Dour Port Mage for a green mana to play another Mistbreath Elder. We can play a 3-tree city on Frog. We can tap this correctly to make green mana. Incorrectly. Okay, we gotta do it this way. 1, 2, make green mana. Then we can play another Dour Port Mage. No. Pick up the Mistbreath Elder. Man, the synergies are actually kind of ridiculous in Frogs. The more I play this deck, the more I'm loving this deck. The synergies are just so sweet. So play the Mistbreath Elder. Poliwallop. You kill Gix. And then tap you for green. 3-tree Scribe. Pick up a Mistbreath Elder. Draw 2 cards. Grow the Dour. This deck is... Frogs are so cool. Frogs are way cooler than I thought. I might kind of be addicted to... It might just be a Frog stream now. We might not get to any other decks because I'm kind of addicted to this already. And this is without any Panharmonicons. Mistbreath Elder is not a May, which is a drawback of Mistbreath Elder. Like, there are going to be times when you got to pick something up when we don't want to. The difference between American and British humor is that British humor is often putting a serious person in a funny situation, watch them flounder about, which also explains why they drag out unfunny jokes, because the floundering is the point. I guess that actually makes sense. I've never thought of it that way, but that actually does make perfect sense. Well, let's pick up the 3-tree Scribe, I guess. Draw a couple cards. Put a counter on the dork. Draw a counter spell and a Clementine and a Clementine. All right, so we need to tap this for green. Play an Elder. Tap this for blue and green. 3-tree Scribe. Pick up the Elder. Draw a couple cards. Put a counter on the Dour Port Mage. And now we can tap this for green. Play Misbreath Elder. Play a Pawn Prophet, draw a card. Pick up a Misbreath Elder, draw some cards. Frogs are so sweet. Frogs are really, really cool. And now, play the land. Polywallop. We do need to eventually do something. We do need to eventually do something to close out this game, though, which is becoming an issue. Well, let's Polywallop. Kill this Zorline. Yeah. All right. Tap, tap. Make blue. Dowerport Mage. No. Dowerport Mage. No. And pass the turn. Discard, discard, discard. Are we just gonna die? Are we just gonna do value stuff until we die? I mean, I guess if we die doing value stuff, I'm kind of okay with that. That's kind of how I want to go. So I guess we're kind of okay with that. But frogs are incredibly complicated. Oh, did I miss something? Mega Magic card. My apologies. Mega Magic card for the 12th month. Welcome back to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big subscription for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. What is the airspeed of an unladen swallow? African or European? That's the real question. So are you gonna pick up the secret lair? Is it worth it? Okay, so you grow you. It is a little bit like standard Nadu, isn't it? Kind of, in its own weird way. So we draw a million cards, and then a million more cards, and then a million more cards. We're just like drawing our deck, though. We're also dying, though. That's the downside. We're drawing our deck, which is sweet. We're dying, which is less sweet. We need, okay, one. So 1, 2. We need to start tapping stuff down. 1, 2, 3, and we're timing out. 3, 4. All right, so play a Dream Dew Entrancer. No. Tap down the Essence Channeler. Play a land. Play a Pawn Prophet. No. Draw a card. 1, 2. Tap this for blue. Green. Tap this for... No. Tap this for blue. Tap this for blue. Dowerport Mage. Pick up the Entrancer. Bounce it back to our hand. Grow that. Draw a bunch of cards. Tap this for green. Play a Entrancer. Tap down the Zoraline. No. Tap down the Zoraline. Tap this for green. Entrancer. No. Tap down the bat. What a turn. Go to combat. Hit you with a Clement. I mean, I think we can just tap all of our opponent's stuff down and win next turn. I think we're going to get there in like the weirdest, valueless way possible. Discard 7 cards. 1, 2, 3. That's always a good sign. You know your deck's doing its thing when you have to discard 7 cards to hand size. All right, discard 7 cards. Opponent untaps. We should have lethal next turn. Our opponent's team is stunned. The bats are stunned about it. And we still have a Polywallop we can use if they fire up their creature land or something. We just like played through our entire deck. Yeah, is there a faster finisher? The Secret Lair goes on sale at the end of the month. They're doing another super drop. It's like the summer super drop. We need an Inverted Containment Priest, where if a creature would leave the battlefield, exile it instead. We almost do. This deck, that would hose this deck so good. So the rule change. I need to find, let me see if I can find the link so I can explain this in the way that makes the most sense to people. Let's finish this game and then we'll talk about the rule change. Opponent hits us, because I think we just win this turn. I'm hopeful we just win this turn. Deep Cavern Bat. Well, all right. So in response, we'll just do a little killing of the Deep Cavern Bat. Opponent go for the throat. Sure. Opponent's tapped out though. That's perfectly fine. They can take a card. It doesn't really matter. And now we just got to win. Now we just got to win this turn. And I think we should be able to. They have one. Can these block? They can. 1, 2, 3. They are going to have a lot of blockers. We don't have any tramplers. Wait, can we not win this turn? Oh, no. All right, opponent takes a card, triggers. Well, pick up the Pawn Prophet. Draw 4. Because Dowerport Mage is absurd. Well, there's all the Valley Might Callers. Who and a Polywallop. Well, okay, so Valley Might Caller basically free. Maybe we just wait one more turn. I think we can very easily win. I think we can very easily win in 2 turns now that we drew all these Valley Might Callers. So maybe we just wait and try to win in 2 turns rather than trying to win this turn. That might make the most sense. Greed. Greed. Play the Scribe. No. And then 1, 2. Make a ridiculous amount of green mana. We have 18 cards left in the deck. All right. Pawn Prophet. No. Grow the Dorks. Pawn Prophet. No. Grow the Dorks. 3-tree Scribe. No. Grow the Dorks. Play an island. Is there any way we die this turn? We just have to not die. Is there some way that I'm not seeing that we're going to end up dying? No. Wow, when frogs start going, they really... Ooh, that Entrancer is kind of sweet. That Entrancer is kind of sweet. Entrancer. No. Tap down the Deep Cavern Bat. Go to combat. Wait, can we win this turn? No, we can't quite win this turn. All right, go to combat. Attack, 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 attack. Get in there. We win next turn. We win next turn, and we get a counter, and we get a Polywallop. So we're going to win next turn almost 100% about it. Yeah, Dream to Entrancer has been way better than I expected. It's almost like a real removal spell. It almost is like Simic Flametongue Kavu or something, because it just keeps the things tapped down for so long. Like, we tapped down this Orlean like 20 minutes ago. Own it. Gonna go to combat. Gonna get in with the bat and gain a life. I don't think it's gonna matter. Hopefully not. Opponent hits us. Sure. Wait, did we have... oh, this has reach, too? Wow, Dream to Entrancer is busted. It actually even has reach. We could have been blocking that. About it. How do we die? Is there something I'm not thinking of that just like burns us out of the game? Okay, not a Ruin Lurker back. That's fine. Sure. And pays a life to draw a card. And another Essence Channeler. And makes a bat. Well, let's Polywallop. Get rid of this Essence Channeler, just to make sure. And that should be lethal. That should be just a little lethal. We'll pick up a Dream Dew Entrancer. Draw about 1 million cards. Grow the dorks. Grow the dorks. So many triggers. Yeah, frogs might actually just be busted. And then last but not least, we will simply play the Dream Dew Entrancer, tap down the last blocker. We've essentially tapped down our opponent's entire team. Tap down the bat. And then Dream Dew Entrancer. Sure. Tap down the last bat. No. Tap and attack. And the Frog Dream has been lived. Here they come. Wait, frogs are actually ridiculous. There were 10 cards left in our deck. 10. Our opponent had 42, and we played 0 card draw. It's not like we played any card draw effects. We just like straight up played a bunch of frogs, and we drew our entire deck. Yeah. Wow. Okay, so I will say frogs are my new favorite deck by far. Oh no, we're gonna play so many frog decks, and that was without any Panharmonicons. That was just straight frogs, no shenanigans or anything. Okay, we'll move on to another deck though, because we want to see more decks. But I will say so far frogs are an early winner. All right, what do you want to see next? What's next on your list? So we've played mice. Mice I think are really good. Frogs somehow overperformed it. We have like 1 million decks to go. Give me your votes. So the rule change. Here's the rule change. So essentially, there was a functional change to a few cards where second main phase was gotten rid of. So post-combat main phase has gotten rid of. If you look at Nihab the Eternal, I think is the card that this impacts the most, or one of them. So Nihab the Eternal says, at the beginning of your post-combat main phase, add 1 mana for each life your opponent's lost this turn. So the change is going to be, rather than saying post-combat main phase, this is going to say second main phase, which will literally mean your second main phase. So one of the tricks with Nihab is you could do a loop with like Aggravated Assault, where you would make a bunch of mana with Nihab, get an extra combat using Aggravated Assault to make more mana to get another combat, and you just go infinite with combats. That will no longer work anymore because Nihab only trigger once on your literal second main phase, not every post-combat main phase. So that's essentially the change that's happening. I think there's a few other cards that it like kind of matters with. There's not a ton of them, but there are a few other cards that it kind of nerfs a little bit. Honestly, I think it's okay. Like, it's a bummer if you're someone who built like a Nihab Commander deck, because if you have a Nihab Commander deck, it's going to really make your deck worse. It was just a wording change, essentially. It wasn't even really a rules change as much as just a card formatting change. But because of the card formatting change, it ended up impacting how some cards play. Lizards, otters. People want to see otters. I think otters got the most vote. We can try otters next. Do a little spell slinging. Otters should be another fast one. Because otters is just like cast a bunch of spells, attack a lot. So I don't know, what do you think of the rule change? What was the reason for the change? I have not actually seen an explanation from Wizards of why they changed it. If anyone has an explanation, send it to me, because I'd like to see it. But I haven't actually seen an explanation for or reasoning for it. It definitely hurts if you're someone who's playing Nihab Commander. It does make your deck worse. All right, so what are otters trying to do in Bloomburrow? Actually, it's super straightforward. Otters just want you to cast a lot of spells. So we have Elusive Otter, 1 mana, 1/1 prowess. Storm Chaser Assailant, 1 mana, 1/1 prowess. Kitsa, 2-drop prowesser. Stormcatcher Mentor, 2-drop Prowesser, and then even Valley Floodcaller kind of gives everything prowess. Frocking Familiar, a spell that is also prowess. So essentially, Otters just want you to cast a lot of spells. So that's the goal of our deck. Play Otters, cast some burn spells, pump our team, draw some cards, hopefully lead to a victory. So the change is, where's Neheb? So the change essentially is they got rid of post-combat main phase and turned it into second main phase. So essentially this means the Neheb combo with Aggravated Assault wouldn't work anymore. There's only, I guess someone posted this, there's only a handful of cards in Magic that actually refer to post-combat main phase. These would be the cards that would end up getting hurt by the change. So Temna gets hurt, Sorin, I guess it actually doesn't really matter. Temna would get hurt. Florian, theoretically, if you took extra combats, it's only going to trigger once rather than trigger a whole bunch of times. So it's essentially only matters if you take more than one combat in a turn, because that would give you multiple post-combat main phases in the past. When now these cards are just going to be second main phase, so you only get one of them. I'm imagining... Really, I wouldn't mind wearing glasses, actually. Are you not a fan of the glasses, Stone Rain? Why is it bumming you out? I feel like if I had to wear glasses, I would actually be cool with it. Because I think you can, like, I don't know, it's kind of fashionable, right? Get a sweet pair of glasses. Plus, seeing is cool. I do enjoy seeing. Is Wizards doing anything at San Diego Comic-Con this year? Also, no RAL. I don't know. I know Wizards said something that they're going to have a limited number of the Holy Grail secret lair drops for sale at SDCC, so I imagine they are doing something in the sense that they'll have a booth there, but I haven't heard anything about promos or anything specific like that. Have we tried rabbits yet? We haven't tried rabbits yet. We can try rabbits at some point. Rabbits are kind of like mice, I think, where it's kind of like just spew your hand and attack. Oh, no. Body failing, that's not good, Stone Rain. That's less good for sure. Well, yeah, let's... Actually, which one would we rather cast? Yeah, let's get down the Stormcatcher Mentor. Boom. Take one. How do you like us now? Rabbits are kind of go wide. Mice are like a little bit go wide too. Rabbits are the most go wide. But I'm gonna go for the throat. Well, I'll play the Fountain Port. Play the Kitsa. And pass the turn. I feel like Kitsa is pretty strong. Ooh, Fountain Port. We have a Believer. Preacher of the Schism. Bump, 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 bump. Well, let's Pearl of Wisdom. Draw a couple cards. Play a land. Ugh, I guess we just have to pass? Well, that's awkward. Preacher of the Schism. Still good, still good. I feel old even though I'm only 20 today. Did you feel old when you were young, or were you still enjoying your youth? I don't think I felt old at 20. I mean, honestly, I guess I probably am sort of old now, and I still don't really feel old. One of the things, I don't know if everyone's like this, or this is just my psychology, but I definitely remember being a kid and thinking eventually I would, like, I don't know, grow up. Like, there would be, like, some light bulb that would go on in your head where eventually you'd be like, oh, I'm like an adult now or something, right? Like, and it would be different than when you were a kid. Like, that was how I pictured life as a young Saffron Olive, that you know, it's like the 8-year-old Saffron Olive. Someday you'd get older and then you'd be like, oh, okay, I'm an adult now. That never happened. So now I'm wondering, is it just like it never happened to me, or maybe it just never happens? Because I'm a little, like, fatter, a little older, but otherwise I am kind of the same as when I was 18 or when I was 8. Yeah, I always expected there would just be this light bulb. You'd be like, oh, okay, it's all different now. I'm a adult now. But yeah, maybe it doesn't actually work that way. I mean, not that I'm complaining, but well, let's Pearl Wisdom again. Draw some cards. Pump the dork. These fast lands are killing me. Ren's Resolve. Trigger. Play the tap land. Get in with a Kitsa. You can't stop the otter. Hit ya. Down to 15. Well, pass the turn. Maybe we should play Ral in this deck. Maybe we should have Ral. This deck could support a couple copies of Ral. Bound it. Gets in. Hits us. Makes a lifelinker. Like, I don't know if we're winning this or not. We've definitely drawn a lot of Kitsas. Opponent. Freeze. Strider Lookout. Very good with Iridescent Vine Lash. Kind of a synergy. Yeah, we can try adding a Ral or two. It's a little bit expensive for the deck, but that's probably fine. Opponent pings this. Well, I mean, they have to take the Frolicker, I think, or else we just kill the bat. Yeah. All right. Well, we will untap. We draw some card draw. Well, we play the land. I wish we had that cost reduction. Losing out on the cost reduction definitely hurts. Well, let's Pearl of Wisdom, draw a couple cards. Oh, we got auto-tapped. We got auto-tapped very brutally. Okay, so is there a way, chat, help me with this. So, frogs are incredibly fun. Actually, all these decks seem super fun, but okay, so here's my question. This should work, right? Can we cast this Lightning Strike, let the Prowess trigger resolve first, and then copy the Lightning Strike? That should be able to happen, right? That should be possible. So if we Lightning Strike the Deep Cavern Bat, we're very light on red mana. Then the Prowess can trigger. Now Kitsa can copy the Lightning Strike. And that can get rid of the Free Strider Lookout. I mean, this still wasn't great, but it was good. Kill it. I wish Arena didn't auto-tap our Shivan Reef. I do not understand the Arena auto-tapper. I had 2 job interviews in the past 2 days. Hey, good luck, Ario. I'm sure you're gonna get one. You're gonna get one. How do you feel like the interviews went? Yeah, the Ral could work in Vintage. I could see that. Like, it kind of reminds me a little bit of the Flipwalker Ral that we just got, like the standard version of it. The fact that you can, ooh, Green Shell, okay, into a land and a ping and an attack. Yeah, I feel like we cast a lot of spells, but we didn't really get much traction this entire game. Like, we're not doing anything. None of this is doing anything. Ren's Resolve, I guess, to draw some cards that don't really do anything. We get an Elusive Otter, so we can play the Elusive Otter. Haha! We now have a blocker. And then Thundering Falls. Yeah, we're just dead. None of this gets us anywhere. I'll play the Valley Flood Caller. All right, yeah, we're dead. Well, that didn't feel very. Otters feel very clunky, huh? Let's try again. We're not gonna give up on otters yet. Talk about that, MTG Goldfish. How was when you first started your YouTube? I'm a believer in the Fountain Fort. I will accept. There's only one. It's a single Fountain Fort. I think it's gotta be worth it. I will add a Ral though. Let's try a Ral. People want to see Ral. It is the exciting new otter of the set. So what do we cut for the Ral though? I don't know. I guess we could also try to play cheaper spells. Consider rotated, though. We could play, like, Shock over Lightning Strike. I don't know if that's actually better. But let's try 2 routes. How many lands do we have? 22? 22. All right, that's fine. All right, well, run it like that. Fountainport's so good. Wait, what was your question about first starting YouTube? I think the most impressive deck so far. I mean, we'll see if the rest of you agree, but I would say Frogs by far. Why is Raul an otter now? Yes. Yes, he is. I don't has anyone read lore that explains that? Because I do not actually know. I don't even know if there is lore that explains it. Is there lore that explains it? Yeah, but is it doesn't necessarily mean otter. Not all is-its are otters. Let's Spire Bluff Canal and boom. Storm Chaser's talent, 1/1 prowess, and then roughly infinite mana to level up. But if you ever level it up, look out. You get to do somewhat powerful things eventually. Oh, the mouse start. Manifold Mouse, double strike, hit you for 4. I will tell you, we're like halfway into early access day. People are going to be sick of this in Best of 1. Wizards has somehow found a way to make players hate mice. The cute little lovable creatures, but they found a way. They found a way. They're gonna be hated. Poor mice. Poor mice. He was trying to find Jace and thought he was hanging out on Bloomburrow, so he took a little John over to Bloomburrow and suddenly was an otter because otter folk have control over rainstorms and is that the actual lore? Huh. How was YouTube at first for you? Was it hard? Honestly, this sounds weird because I think the correct answer is yes. I think I'm just insanely lucky. Because honestly, no. Like, I don't really understand why, but it just kind of like clicked. I don't know if it was that we had the right idea or the right timing, or obviously there's a lot of luck involved, but for whatever reason, like, I don't know. I know people who, you know, ground on YouTube for a long time to try to get where they wanted to go, but that wasn't really how it worked. It just kind of just happened. So yeah, I mean, I think in general, yes, the answer is it's hard and it's slow and it's unlikely, but for some reason the experience with starting the Goldfish YouTube was not really like that. But this was also like 10 years ago. I remember I was looking at there's Sully Gnomes is a site that tracks Twitch chat, tracks Twitch by game, and I was looking at Magic, and poor Magic has fallen a smidge. I think it's in the 80s now, 77 at the moment. But I was looking at this, and you can see like the long-term stats, and the world's just so much different now than it was back then. Let's play Storm Chase Mentor. Actually, no. Huh. How do we do this? We're at 14. Well, I guess we gotta play Thundering Falls. Definitely milling the land. Get rid of the Challenger. Trigger Prowess. Get rid of the Challenger. Trigger Prowess. Ouch. Opponent's doing this on 2 lands. Yeah, otters feel very clunky to me. So another possibility is that otters shouldn't be played as a tribe, and instead you should play otters with like Monastery Swiftspear and Slickshot Show Off, and just play like a couple of the good, like, whatever, Stormcatch Mentors or whatever. So it is possible that otters end up looking better than they do now. But when you actually try to build a deck where all your creatures are otters, so far this one's felt very clunky. But I was gonna say, if you go back, you can see this is how many people were like, watching Twitch streams on average of Magic through the years, and we started streaming like it was almost 10 years ago now, like we're way back somewhere in like 2015 2016 range. Back then, where is it? Back then, the average was there was about 16 people streaming Magic on average, 17, 18, 15, and then Arena came and it jumped up over 100, so it increased by 5 times, 7 times. Even now, where it's come back down quite a bit, it's still like around 70 or so. So still 3 or 4 times as many people. So all that to say, if you're just starting a Magic, YouTube, or Twitch now, I think one of the biggest differences is when I started doing it, there were like 20 people streaming on Twitch, which means it's pretty easy for people to stumble across you or whatever, when now there's going to be 70 or 80 people, and if you're just starting out and you have 5 viewers or 1 viewer, it's going to be, the discovery is a little bit trickier now. So I think maybe that's also part of why it was easier back then, is there just weren't that many people doing it compared to how there are today. What spells would you be playing, Cornelius? I think you gotta have card draw, right? You gotta have card draw, or else it's not gonna work. But there's no consider anymore, so there's no 1 mana like. There's no 1 mana cantrip, not like a good one. So I don't know. Maybe Otters like gets there. Maybe Otters gets there with some changes or something. Like I said, you could play like Shock over Lightning Strike to make it cheaper. I don't know if that makes the deck better, but like that's an option. There's just not a lot of options in the like cheap spell slot for a deck like this. So yeah, I don't really know about Otters. I think, like I said, like, so we're splashing green just for Elusive Otter, which I don't even think is a very good card, but it is an Otter, so we're trying to stay all Otters. Probably perhaps a more competitive way is like, get rid of that, play Monastery Swiftspear, maybe you trim down on like a Kitsa, get rid of these familiars, get rid of the Valley Flood Callers, play like Slick Shot Show Off, play like Monstrous Rage, like something along those lines. Maybe like a hybrid Otter, like slightly Otterish deck, but then you lose the cool Otter payoffs. So that's kind of the challenge, I think, of Otters. The other possibility is maybe Otters is like a Storm deck or whatever. I mean, if you like the idea of streaming Magic or doing content for Magic, 100% encourage you to do it. But it is going to be probably a long process. And there is a lot of luck involved, like, for sure. Are you going to play Bats or Rats today? We probably try Bats or Rats. Well, let's try another Otter game, and then we'll switch it up with something else. I feel like Otters might need some work. I would say so far, out of the decks we've played, I would say Frog's number 1, Mice in the middle, Otters at the bottom, as far as how they felt. A counter burn style deck. A counter burn style deck could work, although I think part of the challenge is the gimmick of the Otters is kind of they all have prowess. And I think that prowess kind of naturally pushes you to want to be aggressive because it's an ability that normally works better on offense than defense. So I think, oh boy, Frogs. Well, this is going to be maybe the best frolicking familiar that we've ever seen. Yeah, Valley Might Caller, pretty good, but also pretty dead. Hell, get and hit you. Down to 18. Go Otters. There is one Adventure Otter. The deck, so to be aggressive, you really need more than one 1-drop, I think. So we have Storm Chaser's Challenge, and then the other 1-drop's Elusive Otter. That has a green adventure cost. I don't know about Bellowing Crier. Our Frog deck is a lot different than other people's Frog decks. We're not playing Bellowing Crier. We didn't play this card that people keep discarding, Long River Lurker. We didn't play any of those in our decks. Well, let's play the Mentor. And then Copperline George. Red's Resolve. Draw a couple cards. Trigger a couple prowesses. Ooh. All right. Otter's feeling a little better here. Hitch it out of 14 past the turn. Yeah, you definitely need the 1-drop if you're going to try to be aggro with Otters, I think. If you start on 2, it's just too slow and clunky. And then, like, you start on 2, and then they kill your Storm Chase Mentor, and you're doing nothing, and you got all these spells in hand. Ooh. How do we do this? Do we let the Flood Caller go? We gotta let something go. Well, let's yeah, I think we let the Flood Caller go and just Elusive Otter. Oh wait, we can put more on it. All right, we got the cost reduction, so we can go X3. Elusive Otter, trigger prowess, grow the dorks, play the tap land, hit ya. Here comes the ooh, I thought our banner had removal. Down to 7. Here comes Otters. They're working actually pretty well now. You should ramp to Doppelgang the Otters. Oh, Otters feel like a very tough Doppelgang deck. Do you have anything planned for the Eddie Murphy Crab? The Eddie Murphy Crab, I think you can build a good budget deck out of it. That was my first impulse, was, I think there's, like, an 8 rare budget deck. So I think it might be a good budget Magic deck, don't it? Oh, this Frog deck is way different than our Frog deck. Way different. Well, let's Elusive Otter. And Pearl of Wisdom. Draw some cards. And Shivan Reef, and Kitsa, and hit you with the Storm Chase Mentor, Stormcatch Mentor. Finish up everything I need to do for today. Saw you were streaming. I figured I'd stop by and catch the rest of the stream. Hey, welcome back, Dumbbreeze. How are you? How'd your day go? Yeah, so I think an opponent scoops it up. Oh, Otters felt good that game. They felt really good that game. We just had to play against Frogs, apparently. All right, Bats? Is it Bats people want to see? Bats, Rats, something in between. Seth, how's your Pioneer video views compared to other formats? Asking as a Pioneer content creator. So I will say I've mostly shifted to playing Explorer. Oh, bunnies. People want to see bunnies too. All right. We can do bunnies. Bunnies should be a quick and easy one, I think. Yeah, it's like a Tolarian Terror, but it's like more mana, but it has flash. All right, bunnies. What do bunnies want to do? They're a token deck, essentially. Bunnies are all about going wide. So essentially, use stuff like Hop to It and Season the Burrow to make a bunch of bunnies, which works really well with Warren War Leader that pumps your bunnies. Phineas can pump your bunnies. Burrow Guard Mentor gets big based on the number of bunnies you got. Valley Quest Caller, the best lord in all of Bloomburrow, is specifically for rabbits. It works with other creature types, but really it's a rabbit card because it is a rabbit itself. So that's essentially how bunnies work. Go wide, green white token aggro, essentially. I ended up cutting Bunnycorn. I couldn't find the room for it. I think Bunnycorn's fine. I think the Trampling Uncommon is probably just better though. Like, maybe I'm torn between Pollen Shield Hair, which works really well by pumping all the tokens that go wide, or just playing Bunnycorn instead of this, which is kind of go tall, but still benefits from going wide. Not really sure which of those is better, but I think if you have to choose, especially in this deck that doesn't really make non-creature tokens or play non-creature permanents, I think Burrowguard Mentor is just better Bunnycorn. It's essentially Bunnycorn, but with Trample. So I guess there's Case of the Gateway Express, but outside of that, like, everything that pumps Bunnycorn also pumps this. So that was essentially the choice, but maybe Bunnycorn would be better than Pollen Shielder. We'll see. We'll see if the token plan is right or not. Yeah, no Mondrak. That's the other challenge with these creature type decks, right? Is like, how many non-tribe members do you play? If you're playing a rabbit deck, Do you play stuff like Mondrak? Like, how far down that path do you go until you're not a bunny deck anymore? Very, very interesting. I feel like Season's got to be one of the strongest cards in the deck, but maybe not. Maybe it's just too much mana. From best to worst, frogs, mice, bats, rabbits, squirrels, lizards, rats, raccoon, otters, birds. I mean, so I think that mostly lines up with my experience so far, which is, so far we've played frogs, mice, and otters. Frogs were amazing. Mice were good, and then otters were kind of bad. Although maybe, like, I don't think otters are necessarily bad, but maybe the brew needs more work or whatever. Do you use Adobe Creative Studios for editing and effects? Yes. Oh, I feel like there was another... If there was another contact question a few minutes ago that I didn't answer, ask me again and I'll answer it. I feel like there was a question, but then I got distracted by bunnies or something and maybe didn't finish answering it. So if I halfway answered your question, just ask me again and I'll get to it. What card are you sad to see leave at rotation? Honestly, so there's cards that I like that are going to be rotating. Like Triskaidekaphile or whatever. Like, there's some cool cards that are rotating, but after rotation got canceled last year, for me this time, I'm all about having the rotation. I think it's all upside at this point. So there's even the cards that I like, I'm happy they're rotating this time because I'm just so ready for standard to actually change and rotate. So even the cards that I like, I'm excited for. Oh, yeah, that's what it was. Pioneer views. So I've mostly switched to... When I play Pioneer, I just play Explore on Magic Arena now, like a huge percentage of the time. But the views really are not that much different for me than other formats. It really comes down to, like, is the deck interesting? Is the premise interesting? I think that's kind of the main thing. Like, an interesting Pioneer deck will do just as well as a interesting Modern deck or whatever. Just got off work. How's early access? It's been super. I've been enjoying it so far. The set seems very, very powerful. It's going to be very interesting to see how, like, the creature type tribal theme shakes out with all this. Like, we've seen so much of what we played with and against so far has been decks built around a single creature type. Well, let's play a land and hop to it. Oh, I swear this every set's an unset. Every set's an unset. It really is. We got jackrabbits and hop to it. The puns, Wizards is laying them on thick. I think frogs are just surprisingly good since they have a lot of good value. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how they do in the real world. My impression of playing frogs during early access is they're really, really good. But I am curious. To see how they do in the real world. Well, we're just gonna play this War Leader. And then that's gonna let us attack. That'll trigger, pump our team, +1/+1. It's a lot of rabbit damage. Opponent. Gonna block with the Blake Belly Rat. Yeah, I mean, winning on 2 lands is gonna be tough for our opponent. We're kind of swarming them with super cute bunnies. Look at how cute that bunny token is. This set is like, what do you think of the flavor of this set? I have hardly seen anyone complain about the flavor of this set, which that never happens. Like, never ever. Now let's play this Phineas. And Case of the Gateway Express. Snipe the Shoreline Looter. They're just as cute as the rest of the set, and then go to combat and make you die. I think we'll just make you die. Yeah, sorry, opponent. Yeah, that's gonna be the challenge, right? Like, once we're in normal standard and people are playing things like Sunfall and so forth, how much worse do some of these decks get? How much worse is Mice when Control is playing 4 temporary lockdowns and 4 Sunfalls? How much worse are Frogs? Actually, Frogs, there is a benefit to being Frogs, which is you're in blue. So Frogs actually get to play counter spells, which is the best answer. I think Rabbit Aggro is going to be very good too. I think they're like a little slower than Mice. So I think a little slower than Mice, but I think they're much bigger than mice, which could be an upside. Like, mice, they're always small. They never get that big. Rabbits, though, we might see it here with this Beauregard Mentor. Like, it's not unrealistic for rabbits to suddenly have just like a 6/6 trampler or 8/8 trampler or something on the battlefield. You don't think rabbit aggro is going to be very good? Yeah, I think... Ooh, rabbits versus rabbits. Huh. Well, let's play the Mentor, I guess. Would like to draw land. Like to draw land for the hop to it. That would be the best. Opponent. We'll have to try. Well, opponent matches us with their own Beauregard Mentor. That is a land. Well, let's hop to it. Make a few monies, just a few. Grow the Mentor, get in and smack ya, get it in. Oh wait, huh? Yeah, this works. Go attacking. Pump it. And I think being on the play is going to be a benefit here. Opponent down to 12. Raccoons seem strong. So raccoons are going to be interesting. I feel like raccoons might be one of the harder ones to build around in Standard. What do you think about repulsive mutation in frogs? What is repulsive mutation? Oh, the counter spell. It could be all right. Frogs, I guess some of the creatures get pretty big. I could see it. Well, let's play the quest caller. Pump the rabbits. That seems kind of good for 1 mana. Yeah, just yeah, here we come. That's a 13. See, this is the thing rabbits do that mice don't, is that's a 13/13 Vigilance Trampler. And that's a Pollen Shield Hair. Giving +6/+6 and Vigilance for 1 mana. For 1 mana. And about it. Slightly dead. I will say, so far I've been... Oh, frogs worked out way better than I thought. Way, way better. Yeah, maybe Pollen Shield Hair is worth it. So far I've been impressed by just how balanced all the decks seem. That's the thing that has surprised me the most, is like, it seems like some are going to be better than others, but none of them seem like trash so far. I guess we haven't got to some of like the lower tier ones like raccoons or whatever that seem tougher to pull off in Standard, but so far it seems like all the creature types are like kind of, you know, able to battle against each other. Is Frog wildcard expensive? Let's pull up the deck list. So it's not a budget deck, but I don't know if it's like super expensive. Let me see. Obviously the mana base is part of it, but if we discount the mana base, how many rares are there? Rare. Yeah, rare. Yeah, I guess they're actually pretty rare heavy. So the deck we played, including the mana base, was what, 33 total rares and mythics. So yeah, I guess it's relatively intensive. We're gonna try this. I feel like rabbits should be the best 3-tree city tribe, although looking a little clunky here since we don't have any green mana. Lizards, I think, are maybe in the middle. We have lost to them. If you can pop off with the Burning Tree Emissary Wizard, they seem very good. They're probably going to be very good right here, as we're kind of off to a slight bit of a slow start, as we don't have all of our colors of mana and our opponents on the play. Rats are unfortunate. Rats have some amazing cards, but like there just isn't many of them. They have no good 1-drops. Yeah, I think that's what sets the most playable creature types apart, is like some of them got 2 really strong 1-drops, and then like raccoons and rats got 0 1-drops, period. Or like, I think there's a rat that, no, it was a squirrel that taps to act like forage and draw a card. Yeah, it's kind of funny how some did so much worse than others. Well, play a land on rabbit, and I mean, I guess we just hop to it. Make some 2/2s, pass the turn. Palinette gonna do some bobbing into a land. And another Hired Claw pings us. And Fireless Mentor pings us. I guess Lizards, I wonder if, like, the damage doubling, or what's the enchantment that adds a damage? Mono Red plays it on Arena sometimes. But I wonder if that could be worth playing in the Lizard deck. I wonder if that's the way to build Lizards. So clunky. But we'll play a Warren War Leader. No Offspring. But we can't even really attack, or we just... Well, I guess we can attack... Maybe we attack with everything and pump. I guess that's what we gotta do. Attack with everything. Pump them. Opponent blocks. Blocks. Alright. Well, we lose our mana again, which isn't great. Opponent gets a Valley Rock Caller. For not having any green mana, we're not doing that bad. Mechanized Warfare, yeah. I can see Mechanized Warfare potentially working in Lizards, because they have so many of these red sources that are just dealing 1 damage, like Gev and Hired Claw. And if those start dealing 2 damage instead of 1 damage... But Brothers War's around for a whole nother year still. So it'll rotate out, but we still have a whole nother year. I guess they also have the Lizard version in this Valley Flamecaller. Ugh. Yeah. Well, I mean, we can play the Quest Caller, play the Season Worn Guard, get rid of Caretaker's Talent, get in with the War Leader. Make a 1/1. Scry. Oh! It's green mana, but it's tapped. We need untapped. Yeah, the mana is kind of getting us here. I mean, I guess that's kind of impressive. There really are opponents like a bad Darkstar Augur flip away from just dying after all that. Opponent bangs us. Oh, we might just be dead. Oh, with a fetch land? And it's... Oh, yeah, we're definitely dead. Well, that's kind of a cool combo kill, I guess. Valley Flamecaller, double Vine Lasher, and a fetch land. We just never found any green mana that game. Would you say O'Hare Axelon would also be decent in Wizards? Let me read O'Hare again to make sure how it's worded. If a red source would deal non-combat damage less than its power, the source would deal damage equal to its power instead. I think so. If you look at... Last time we had these similar effects in Standard, it was back in Throne of Eldraine, and Torbrandon was in Standard, and there was actually the top-tier mono-red deck that season was a Torbrand deck that was playing essentially cards like Hired Claw that would deal 1 damage, and then Torbrand would come down and make them deal 3 damage instead of 1 damage and just win the game. So I feel like maybe O'Hare Axelon can just kind of do the same thing. That seems realistic to me. How good is Bat Bob? I think it's good, although... I think we're going to see Arena players learning about how Bob works. So far, I've seen it be very good for people, but then I've also just seen people die to it. Where people just run it out. How do we manage to do this again? I guess I should have just mulliganed. Oh, yeah. For some reason, I don't know why I was thinking this was going to make the mana we needed. So Rabbits like the mana screw, apparently. Honestly, oh my god. Yeah, we should have just mulliganed. We definitely should have mulliganed. This is 3 Tree Surety just bad. This is the most expensive card in the set, but now I'm starting to think I should just cut it from... but then it popped off in Frogs. But it's so... depressing. Life is so depressing. Life is so depressing. Maybe 3 Tree City is just not a good card. Although it did let us win that Frog Mirror. The Frog Mirror was 1,000,000% because of 3 Tree City. I mean, I wouldn't be saying it if we had a white source. We could have also just mulliganed. Maybe we don't have to cut 3 Tree City. Maybe we could have just mulliganed. That's also a possibility. I mean, I guess it'll probably do another Insidious Roots and Forsaken Miner. Well, we finally drew a white source here on turn number 79. We will hop to it. We're fighting the good fight. That gets us more white mana with the 3-Tree City. After complaining, the 3-Tree City might actually pop off. Opponent goes to combat. I feel like we should cut Cavern from essentially all our early access decks, just because no one's playing control decks. No one's playing control decks. There's no reason to play it today. Although, in the broader scheme of Standard, yes, I think it's necessary. But early access, I'm not sure it's as necessary. Double Insidious Roots. So, let's play Seasoned Worn Guard. And then make a little white mana. And play War and War later. And go attacking. And do we just pump? Yeah, I guess we'll just pump. Gotta be aggro. BG and T Cumpy. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big thank you. Except it doesn't let us guess our non-creature spells. Or doesn't give us colored mana for our non-creature spells. Crim is on early access. I think he will be later, maybe. I think he can't stream because he's on the road still. So I don't think he has the ability to stream right now. I think he's going to do some recording for the YouTube, from what I heard. But yeah, he's not at home with his computer. So War and War Leader is very good. It is very good. Opponent. Well, here comes the plants. Here comes the plants. Oh, this is actually hilarious. This is not what we want to be doing with our Season of Burrows, but. Wait, can we play more things? We can play the Paw Patch. So we can play Paw Patch for free. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I guess it doesn't make a difference. All right, so 1, 2, white mana. All right, it's pawn time. So we will. Wait, what's happening? Make white mana, please. Yes, you make white mana. There we go, Arena. All right, so Season of Burrows. 2 paws, 2 paws, 1 paw. 2 paws, 2 paws. Ho, ho, ho. Oh boy. Oh boy. Season of Burrow sniping double Insidious Roots is so good. That is not the mode that we play this card for, like, at all. But it's absolutely perfect here. No, it was a joke when Tomer left Commander Clash for a season. The joke was that he got fired, which was just a bad joke. It wasn't true by any stretch. And let's attack and pump. And see what our opponent does. Takes it down to 9. And I guess we will play the Paw Patch. Run out the Paw Patch. We have a new donation from Glory. Oh, no. Thank you so much for the donation, Glory Vega. The problem is, I can't actually... I can't actually get into Streamlabs to read it. Oh no, I'm so sorry. If you type the message in chat, I will make sure to read it. But yeah, there's an issue with Streamlabs where I can't actually log in. So if I don't catch the full donation while it's on screen, I don't have a way to actually go back and see it, unfortunately. I definitely appreciate it so much, though. Thank you so much. And if you give me the message, I will read it. I'll read it on stream. Now, and Crim will be back. Crim's just, Crim. He's always he's a wanderer. He's always going somewhere doing something. But he's been gone for the last 3 weeks, and then he's going to Gen Con, and then he's also in the process of moving. So all of his stuff's like in storage, kind of. So he's living the Crim life. He's living the Crim life. But he'll be back to normal. But I think that does mean he isn't going to be able to stream today the way he wanted to. 1, 2. So we can make what? Make a bunch of white. Play the case. Snipe the Bart. Opponent gets a food. Play the Mentor, which is going to be kind of huge. Go to combat, and yeah, I mean, swing out, bump the team. This War and War leader has been great. And rabbits actually seem kind of good. Oh, thank you so much, YRG. So here, let's see the donation. So from Glory Findy 143. Hey Seth, thanks for all the awesome YouTube content over the years. I remember 8 years ago when I was in high school, I learned English through watching your budget magic videos with subtitles. That is super cool. I need to find Magic content creators in other languages that I can watch and learn those languages. Actually, I guess most people would say you should watch English YouTubers and learn that language first. But I would like to learn some other languages. That's a really cool story. Well, thank you so much for the donation, Glory Finder. And hopefully you're enjoying the stream. The season was really good there too. Yeah, Krim likes his cons. Are you all travelers? Do you like doing stuff like that? I really don't. I mean, I like going to Magic Cons. Like, I think for me the right schedule is like once every 3 months or so is probably about right. Even like a couple a year I'm perfectly fine with. Like, beyond that though, like I know Krim's the kind of person that he could be going to an event every weekend. He'd be going to I'm more on the hermit side of things, but he could be going every weekend to a different anime convention, Gen Con, Magic Con. Foul. Someone's actually playing Foul. Well, you got us. You got us with the Foul. And let's play the land. Play the Caretaker's talent. I'm curious how good Caretaker's talent is. I don't know if it's good right now, unfortunately, but make a token, draw a card once a turn. Level up, copy a token. Level 3, creature tokens +2/+2. Destination often better than the travel. That's definitely true. Do you think control? We should try the control deck. I feel like control would probably. Yeah, Krim would. I think Krim would go insane living with me. Just I live out in the middle of nowhere. I think Krim. It's so funny. Me and Krim are so opposites when it comes to just lifestyle. Because Krim's like, oh, discard 2 cards. 2? Come on now. All right. Well, we'll discard one of our War and War leaders. Play a Fountain Pool. Play a War and War leader. Can't Offspring it. Yeah, this is looking bad. We're getting 8 racked here. But Krim, we live like the opposite life. Like Krim, he's like out in LA, I think, and like doing just always something going on. I'm like the opposite, living in upstate New York, nothing going on. So yeah, I don't think I would enjoy living Krim's life, and I don't think Krim would enjoy living my life. But we have a great time playing Magic together. Wait, what am I getting punted for? Wait, what am I getting? Why am I getting punted? Read what? It said discard 2 cards. The screen said discard 2. Oh, we could held on to the land. Did the screen not say discard 2 cards? I'm just saying. Someone clip it. Someone clip it. Because I'm pretty sure that screen said discard 2 cards. Well, let's go to combat. Get in with the war leader. Make a rabbit token. Draw a card. Opponent. Going to block. And block. Well, let's sack the rabbit token to draw a card. Play a land, and yeah, I guess we just gotta pass for now. We probably need to offspring this to trigger the talent. Can't level it up because these don't make real mana. Ugh, brutal. Brutal. Brutal, brutal, brutal. Yeah. Yeah, having no cards in hand is definitely a rough position, I would agree. Very much agree. Well, okay, it's Fountain Port's time to shine. I mean, Fountain Port's going to be great here, right? We can Fountain Port to make a 1/1 that can block a thing and draw a card to get us out of range of this Bandit's talent, hopefully. Whew, another one. All right. Well, I don't know if this deck is good or this is a above average draw for our opponent, but it's looking good right now. And we're kind of dying. Cavern of Souls, not good. Kill the Informant. Drop to 7. Drop to 3. Draw a Seasoned Morguard. Not very good. Well, okay. Pass the turn. This has been brutal. Found it. What does the last level of this do? Beginning your draw step, draw an additional card for each opponent who has one. Oh, okay. Opponent goes to combat. Opponent attacks. Fountain Port. Fountain Port. Make a 1/1. Draw a card. Block it. How do we not die? Play the Burrowguard Mentor. Play the Burrowguard Mentor. Oh. Play Cavern. Let's do it this way. Play Cavern on Rabbit. Pass the turn. I don't have one or fewer cards in hand. What? At the beginning of your draw step, draw an additional card for each opponent who has one or... Okay. Oh, it's not. I see. That was their draw. That was their draw for the turn. And that just triggers but doesn't draw. Okay, that makes more sense. I thought they drew the card, and I thought it was from the Bandit's talent, but apparently... Oh, man. Opponent was just playing Mine Rot Tribal over there. And I don't think we can... Does this save us? Or does it still trigger? Oh, okay, it does save us. Not dead yet. Not dead yet. Oh, we are fighting and clawing. We're seeing the testament of the Fountain Port. This is the Fountain Port. This is a Fountain Port. The Fountain Port is keeping us alive. And y'all mocked my Fountain Port. Y'all mocked it. Y'all mocked it. And this Fountain Port is by itself. Oh. This Fountain Port is by itself keeping us in this game. Now there's a Maha, though. Now there's a Maha. Ward discard a card. Oh no, I think our dreams might be dying. They might be drawing to Maha. So we draw for our turn. It's a Cavern. Go to our main phase. How can we do this? The problem is we need to empty our hand, and we can't afford to empty our hand. So we hop to it. That's 3 tokens. This is 4. Yeah. So what can we do? So I guess we can hop to it and draw a card. Yeah, let's hop to it, draw a card. No, don't kill us. Did you see that? Did you see Arena's suggestion? Arena's suggestion is tap that brush land and die instead of spending the treasure. I do not trust this auto tapper. Yeah, it doesn't do it. Yeah, we needed to find like some sort of removal. Yeah, we just can't beat the Maha. Well, considering how many cards... Oh, Maha's a bust. Maha's such a busted card. Rabbits feel pretty good, though. That was a clunky draw, but rabbits feel pretty good. Auto Tapper wanted me to die. I will never forget the video that Phil and I made. The video that Phil and I made playing like the most broken cards possible on Arena, and I channeled and it just auto-channeled me to death. It was just like, boom. Instead of tapping my land, it was like, I'm just going to pay with channel until you die, even though I had untapped mana. I mean, we almost got there. We almost got there with the Fountain Port. The Fountain Port gave us a chance, but then they drew the Maha. What are we trying next? What haven't we tried? So we tried bunnies, otters, frogs, and mice. We haven't tried... Oh, rats. People want to see rats. Bats. Bats was the next one. People want to see bats for sure. We haven't done the big snake yet. We'll see if we can... We can see if we can get to it. So bats, we played against bats once. Bats basically a little slower. You don't get any one drops. You get the upside though that pretty much all your creatures fly, and you get cool cards like Lunar Convocation. There's also some like life gain synergies. You kind of get some Soul Sister stuff going on with Life Creed Duo being like a Soul Sister, Essence Channeler, kind of a Voice of the Blessed or a Johnny's Pride Mate. So essentially, flyers that gain life and want you to lose life. Oh, the Bat Bob's in there. The Bat Bob's. Yeah, Bat God is a little risky with Bat Bob, but I think it's still worth playing. Where are the bats? All right, let's try some bats. Yeah, we can try the control deck. We should be able to get in a couple more decks at least before the stream ends. And then the good news is, remember, it's early access day. We have a whole summer of being able to explore these decks. So even if we don't get to a deck today, we're hopefully going to get to it soon. Is your Viper deck an Aristocrat deck? The Viper deck is kind of just have not played against a Sunspine Lynx yet. No one's played it. Everyone's playing just tribal decks. It's been pretty much almost... I guess we played a couple of Roots decks. And we played that one discard deck, but it is a very high percentage of decks built around a single creature type. Well, let's... I guess just Life Creed Duel. Can we gain enough life to beat the mice? I mean, I imagine this is kind of what Wizards imagine when they put this set together, is it would be like mice versus bats versus frogs, and that's kind of how it's been playing out so far. Well, let's... I guess Essence Channeler. Gain a life. Grow the Dork. Hit you for one. Who draws lands first? Oh, it looks like our opponent. Rockface Village. Call, not Manifold Mouse. I'm already starting to hate Manifold Mouse. There are one-drop bats. They're just not very good. Bunnies felt solid. I would say the ranking right now is... Yeah, there's the Manifold Mouse. The rankings right now is Frogs #1. I think Rabbits and Mice are kind of like tied in tier 2. And Otters are like tier... I don't know, C or D. Like pretty far down. They're kind of alone at the bottom right now. That's the current ranking. Well, let's just Life Creed Duel. Keep gaining life. Grow the Essence Channeler. Hit you in the air. Down to 16. Really would love to draw another land. That would be pretty spectacular. Oh, don't kill the Essence Channeler. We kind of need that. Repel Calamity? What? Oh, I guess this works. We get to put the counters on the Life Creed Duo. So I guess that's fine. Now we get a big Soul Sister opponent. Heartfire Hero. Double strikes it. Passes. Alright. Starsclape. This is the clunkiest battle I've seen, but burn ya, hit you in the air. Down to 9. We're doing it. We're Soul Sistersing. About it. Man, oh, double Manifold Mouse. Okay, that's a lot of double striking. And it pumps the team. Oh, this is gonna hurt. This is gonna hurt. 3, 4, 5, 6. We're 1. Oh, wait, no. This cleric should do it, right? I think this cleric means we win. I think. Hopefully. Let's see if this works the way I want it to. So I think this hits for 4, right? And then we hit for Xaxes? Or one more than Xaxes? Burn ya? Soul Sisters? Bat Sisters? Would literal Soul Warden and Essence Warden be too good for Standard? I don't think so. I think in 2024, I think it's unlikely that Wizards prints a literal Soul Warden or Essence Warden, because they don't really print ones that trigger on your opponent's creatures anymore. Yeah, that's just the default avatar on this account for some reason. We played Ral a little bit in the Otters deck, but we didn't play a ton of Otters, and we didn't really draw Ral, so we haven't got to see Ral do anything yet. But I think that they would print things like Soul Warden or Essence Warden, but I don't think they will print ones that trigger on your opponent's creatures. I think that's kind of just the rules of Wizards' current design philosophy. Which I guess it makes. Have you ever played Soul Warden in like Commander? It is very annoying to track in paper. That is one of the drawbacks. Can we play the new links? The new links will be coming. It's coming. I will promise you that. I don't know if we're gonna play it. We probably won't play it today, but you will see the new links very soon. Well, let's take this Mentor. They're gonna have to Lightning Strike the bat anyway, so there's not much point taking one of them, and then next turn we can Deep Cavern Bat and take the other one. Well, go to combat attack. Oh, but wow, opponent's gonna take it. Interesting. Well, let's Deep Cavern Bat. Actually, let's play this first. Land on bat, not bird. Deep Cavern Bat number 2. And snipe your, I guess, Lightning Strike maybe? I think we go Lightning Strike. Do you think any of the main standard decks will remain nearly the same with a few tweaks because of rotation, post-rotation? Likely. I think if you look at the current top tier of the meta, some of the decks are going to have an easier time doing that than others. But another Hired Claw. Caves of Koilos. Well, let's get in with the Deep Cavern Bat. I mean, we're one land away from Aclazotz, and Aclazotz, I think, is just going to kind of seal this game. Do we want to run this out? Let's just wait. Let's just pass. So if you look at current standard, like mono red is the kind of deck that'll very easily, it'll look almost exactly the same. They'll drop the things that rotate, and then just, well, that's maybe not the best example of one of them. But this, like, so Bloodthirsty Adversary rotates. They'll play the new Prowess 2-drop mouse, and the deck they'll replace the Saga with one of the new 1-drops, and it'll play almost exactly the same as it did before rotation. So some decks will be like that. Other decks, blue-white control losing the Wandering Emperor is in Memory Deluge is actually a pretty big deal. So those are like a little bit trickier to replace. So it's going to depend on the deck. Or like Esper losing Rafine. There's not really a reason to be Esper without Rafine. Like, you might as well just be Dimir or Orzhov if it's not for the power of Rafine making you play all 3 colors. So I think that's where we'll see more of an impact most likely. Well, let's play the Essence Channeler. Convoke lose it? Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens with Convoke. I'm actually not really sure what happens with Convoke. They can replace it with a 1-drop rabbit that grows based on a token, but it makes it a lot less consistent because it might be that Boros Convoke is Convoke without Gleeful Demolition. That might be the most likely outcome, and the end result is a deck that's like still good, but a little bit less explosive. Like a little bit slower, but a little bit more resilient, maybe. Domain, I think, gets hurt the worst out of the top tier standard decks. Like, the mana base changes really hurt it. The links really hurts it. So I think the Domain, I don't want to say it's dead, because Atrox is still such a powerful card, but it might be just, there might be better ways of, like, winning with Atroxa if that's what you're trying to do. Well, let's go to combat attack, see if we can bait our opponent into killing one of these bats. And then our Zoraline can live and reanimate it. All right, opponent's going to lightning strike the Deep Cavern Bat. Sure. Hit ya. Well, let's run out the Zoraline. Pass the turn. Really wouldn't mind drawing land number 5. We could do a lot with one more land. Oh, Frogs has been the sweetest deck that we've played so far. Like, kind of not even close. I think that Frogs is, like, by far the coolest stuff we've done. Yeah, Reanimator with Cruel Claw could be interesting. Does anyone know how good Mahai actually is? So we haven't played Mahai yet. We've just lost to it. I think it's actually very good. But we haven't really played with it yet, so I guess I can't say. I guess I can't say for sure. Opponent popping off with the Fireglass Mentor here. Draws a Valley Flamecaller and pings us. Well, go to combat. Attack, attack. Gain some life. Yeah, I mean, ouch. Get back the Essence Channeler. Grow it. Grow it. About it. This is a very big turd. It all pretty much comes down to this turd. Never got to land number 5 for the Glazats. Just could not get there. I have not even built a bird deck. Birds seem very, very bad. There's not, I think some of the individual birds are in my Bant Blink deck. So I think there's like there's uses for them, but I'm just not really seeing a bird deck almost really being possible in standard. It seems like it's designed to be more of like maybe an okay limited archetype. So opponent goes on the big attack. So we block the, oh man. How do we do this? I mean, I guess we just gotta block and block or we're gonna die. We might die anyway. So block and block? That's unfortunate. So we drop to 2. Yeah, that does it. Never do the 5th land. It never did it. I think Jackdaw Rescue Board is going to be fun hate birds. Mindsets are White Orchid Sphere. Yeah, I think Jackdaw is very good. Like, Jackdaw is a good card. I don't know if you can actually build, like, a bird deck with it, though. I feel like birds just got, like, this super short end of the stick. Like, if you look at the birds in Bloomburrow, there's just, they do not have much going for them. Oh, wait, where are the, why is it not birds? If you look at the birds from Bloomburrow, though, let's see. I feel like compared to the other creature types, they're just like, they're very scattered, right? Like, technically, Maha's a bird or whatever, but I'm really not sure. I don't know. Could a deck that's like Salvation Swamp, Cholesterol, Jackdaw, Xavier, Mockingbird, I think the biggest, maybe Plume-Crude Escort, could that work? I think the biggest issue I have, and what I really dislike about how they design birds, is it seemed like they kind of, and I don't know why they did this. I would love to know your opinion on why they did this. But the thing I really dislike about the birds is a lot of the birds have this theme of creatures without flying. Like Plume-Creed Mentor, when ant or another creature you control with flying enters, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control without flying. Or Salvation Swan blinks another creature without flying. There is just like this super weird Why? Like, why make your signpost uncommon for draft? Force you not to play all birds, and the whole point of birds is they all fly and they're all birds. So I just don't understand the design. I don't know what they were thinking. I just don't understand the design philosophy, I guess, for what birds were trying to do there. At the beginning of your end step, if you gain life this turn, you should lose a life. At the beginning of your end step, if you gain life and lost life, Well, let's play Cavernon Bat. Play a Deep Cavern Bat. Take your... This is bad news. I guess Lunar Convocation. Ugh. We're kind of behind the curve here, though. About it. Yeah, Glarb does look like he could be kind of neat in that deck. Another Essence Channeler. Opponent gets it. That's us. I don't know. This card does not seem strong enough to me to actually play. Do you think Ruin Lurker Bat is actually worth it in bats? It seems so bad. The Supro Bat deck, a lot of it, I think, just comes down to whoever wins the die roll. When it comes to, like, a mirror match of aggro decks, I think whoever wins the die roll is favored by, like, a very large percentage. Because, like, our opponent has their hand on board and 2 cards in hand. We have our hand in hand. That's kind of the issue. How do we break serve from here? I guess we play. Let's just play this. Let's just play Zoraline. And then do we attack? Yeah. I think that's well, actually no, let's not attack. We'll wait. I don't know if we want to give him back the Convocation yet. I assume our opponent's trying to wait to draw another land so they can offspring the Darkstar Augur. Case of an Eaten Feast. Okay. Opponent passes. Ooh, things are looking up now. So we get to actually not looking up as much as I thought. These villages. Okay, I might be a little too addicted to the villages because they're making it hard to actually cast our spells. So let's play Life Creed Duo. And then get him with Zoraline. Gain a life. Hit ya. And then we'll just leave up the go for the throw in case they play the Bob. I don't think the villages are so bad, but they are a little clunky if you draw too many of them. You playing any jank decks today? I mean, we're gonna play a couple more decks. I don't know, or well, I probably got maybe another half hour or so, and then I gotta wrap up our early access stream. So probably get in another deck or so. I don't know what deck do you really want to see? I think people want to see maybe a non-tribal deck. At least some people have said. Ooh, cut down. Cut down seems good. Well, yeah, let's play the Essence Channeler. Gain a life, grow it. Go to combat. Attack, attack, attack. And grow it, grow it, grow it. Cut down the Ruin Lurker Bat. And this one might be kind of over. Grow it. Essence Channeler up to a 7/6. Try to pull off the food combo. The food, yeah, I mean, that might be good against the odds deck, too. I feel like it needs so many pieces, it might be hard to pull off. But if we can pull it off, it'd be super cool. Storm Splitter, Doppelgang, Otterball Elite. Ooh, those are a list of interesting cards. What does Doppelgang do, though? Oh, trying to copy the Doppelgang with Kitsa? That would be sweet. Alright, opponents now popping off a bit. Ooh, Caves of Koilos, okay. If you've lost life this turn, it has Flying and Vigilance. Well, let's do this. 1, 2. Play the Cleric, no Offspring. Gain some life, grow the Dorks. Wait, why did they gain? Why did they gain life and get Flying and Vigilance? I'm so confused. Oh, they lost life because of our Cleric. I see, I see. Well, maybe we don't attack then. Yeah, I think we attack. We'll get in there. Gain a life. Grow the Dork. See how our opponent blocks. If they try to double block, we can go for the Throat. Alright, they're just going to block with a Bat Token. Yeah, let's kill the Augur. Pass the turn. Pout it. Draws an Estus Channeler. Down to 10. Can we close this out? Yes, it is very complicated. There's a lot of triggers going on. A lot of triggers, a lot of stuff growing, a lot of life gain going both directions. Pout it. Trigger, trigger, trigger. And looks like they might have found removal. We can get down our Lunar Convocation finally. Wouldn't mind drawing our own Darkstar Augur. That would be the best. Wow, opponent. Get in, get in. Huh. That's a lot of damage. Okay, sure. I guess we're taking a lot of damage. Ouch. Down to 9. And then triggers. And grows. I'll play the Convocation. Oh, do they actually draw removal? Oh. Oh, that's incredibly bad for us. That's like, I think, deadly for us. Yeah, I think now we lose. Well, we almost got there. Lovecrafty, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super favorite. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, we're super dead. I thought that Bloomburrow MTG Twitch event was supposed to be happening. Did I miss it? We're playing Bloomburrow right now. You did not miss it. We're still going. But yeah, all day today there'll be people streaming the new Bloomburrow stuff. So wait, what is the last deck we're gonna try? I think we can do one more deck in the stream. We gotta figure out what it is. It's probably horrible to ask because everyone's gonna have a different opinion. We're just super dead, right? Yeah. All right, you did it, opponent. You did it. Yeah, mice were the very first deck that we played at the beginning of the stream. Not a Kindred deck. Yeah, we have played. I mean, that's kind of the big theme of this set, so it makes sense that that's most of what we're seeing. But I mean, we can try a, I mean, you want to try the Maha? You want to try Maha or Cruel Claw? Yeah, I don't think there was any way we could have actually got back in the game. Oh yeah, people did want to see the Viper deck too. Yeah, we played Otters. We played Otters earlier already. Otters are one of the more disappointing decks, I would say. So far, it's still early. All right, we'll try the Cool Claw deck. We'll try Viper. Yeah, people want to see Viper. Right, we'll try the Viper deck. People want to see a jankier deck, and I think Viper is like super jank. So that might be the perfect final deck of our first Bloomburrow stream. So Orzhov Viper. So basically, this is just all in on Rottenmouth Viper. Do I think it's wise to go all in on Rottenmouth Viper? I'm not sure that it is. I'm kind of leaning towards no. But essentially, Rottenmouth Viper wants a bunch of non-land permanents on the battlefield because you can sack them to make it cheap, and then if it lives, it's going to grind your opponent out by making them sack stuff and discard stuff. So we have like Novice Inspector. It makes a clue and a body. Spiteful Hexmage. It makes a curse roll and a body. Case of the Stash Skeleton. It makes a skeleton and an enchantment. So we have all these things that put multiple permanents on the battlefield. Devouring Sugar Maw makes token and a food. So we put all these multiple permanent creatures onto the battlefield. So hopefully we can be Rottenmouth Vipering like turn 3-ish if we get lucky. And then we just cross our fingers and we pray really hard that it lives. And if it does, we probably win with the Viper. And if it doesn't, or they have a rabbit that's like a 2-drop 8/8 and that's bigger than our Viper, then we're sad and we probably lose. What do you think? Okay, going into this, chat, this is our first games with Viper. I want your prediction. Is Viper actually good? Sugar Mar is a sweet card, literally. You should play the black-white dude that makes your opponents lose life. What card are you thinking of, Ario? That's kind of where I'm at. Like, I think it would be really cool if it was good. I feel like it just doesn't really protect itself from removal very well or have any sort of evasion. So I feel like it's going to be a lot of like YOLO your Viper and then it dies and then you sacked your whole board and you're definitely not going to be able to get back in the game. That's kind of my concern. Oh, we got a Biza. It's a little slow, but we'll try it. Tap land go. Opponents. So far, hey, what's up, testing here? So far, Bloomburrow's been super fun. Super fun. About it. Up the beanstalk. Huh, okay. This would be a good Viper match. Or a good Lynx match, rather. Yeah, let's just run out the Case of the Stash Skeleton. I think Viper is a good card, but it requires better 1-mana cards that you are happy to sacrifice. So you think it could work, but you need support for it. What would be, oh god, what would be like the perfect card? What would be if you could have just like any card in Magic's history that would be the best support possible for Viper? What would you be looking at? Trife Manga, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super thank you. I'm interested in seeing how often you get stuff with Breeza. Well, and this match is going to be about 0% because we're up against a control deck. Oh, cornucopia memes. Well, I mean, someone said, you know, we should see some control decks, and it looks like Burna 94 MTG has decided that if everyone's going to play mice, they are just going to stick it to the mice players. Huh. Well, let's go to combat. Attack. Opponent takes it down to 13. Well, let's have some dinner. And then we'll play the Viper. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sack them all. Boom. Here comes the snake. GG. Scoop it up. Scoop it up, Berna. Scoop it up. Herd migration. Yeah, Sunfall's still around. Unfortunately. So, opponent, would you like to discard or sacrifice? Alright, opponent takes 4. Sure. And then Sun falls to kill the snake and gains a bunch of life and draws an extra card. Yep. Well, we'll play an Inspector. And I guess we have to sack our case to tutor for a land. I will say I think this is not going to do Viper any amount of justice, this matchup. This is the Viper's nightmare if you're playing against Sunfall control deck. This is where Viper is going to be literally at its worst. Vipers are snakes, I think, right? Aren't they? I'm pretty sure they're snakes. Quintori is gone for our opponent. Yeah, I mean, it's cool to see our opponent trying it. I think that the existence of Sunspine Spirelinks means that decks like this are just not going to, I don't know. Sunspine Links is so incredibly strong against these decks, but maybe no one plays it. Maybe no one plays Sunspine Links, and you can get away with playing decks like this. But I feel like Sunspine Links should make it so decks like this are basically not realistic options. Well, we'll play a Concealed Courtyard. Sure. Biza. So I think we get to draw a card and make a treasure, which, I mean, a 4/5 that draws a card and makes a treasure, that's fine. I think that's what people miss on Biza. It's not like you need to trigger 4 modes for it to be good. 1 or 2 modes makes for a very strong card. Daily Primal Conqueror. How did Mice line up with other aggro decks? I think Mice is the best of the aggro decks. Opponent, Season of the Pro off their deck. And a Viper off our deck. Yup. Alright, sure. I mean, technically Sunspine Links is dealing some amount of damage to you right now than your opponent. Well, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't put it in this this Orzhov deck, probably. This mana base might not be the best time for it. It would be shutting down the Cornucopia, and the Contori is gone. Yeah, I mean, I think this game is just very over. Opponent makes a Spirit. We draw nothing of note. Yeah, all right. Let's try this deck in a different matchup. This is Astro Cornucopia Control is a very unique deck. I remember it from last early access day. And we've done some funny things with it in videos. It has never become a real deck by any stretch, but it is, I think it's one of the most annoying decks to play against in Standard. It's so incredibly annoying. Do paw cards let you stack the order of effects? I mean, it's going to resolve from top to bottom. So, I mean, you get to choose the effects. You have the paws that you can spend, but it is going to end up resolving from top to bottom once you choose them. So that's going to be, there's no way around the resolving from top to bottom. Well, let's Spiteful Hexmage. Boom. Cursed Roll. Yo. We need a snake. We need a snake to sack this Spiteful Hexmage and hope for the best. About it. Plots a Demonic Ruckus. Ooh, there's a snake. Well, let's play a land. Get in for 1. I mean, we're going all in on the snake. We're going all in on the snake. So we can Case of Stash Skeleton. So this should let us next turn play the snake and salve the Case of the Stash Skeleton. Yeah, bring it, Mesa Falcon guy. Where's your Mesa? Where's the Mesa Falcon? If CGB goes Mesa Falcon on the Demonic Ruckus, then we'll just concede to that flex. I played a very long game against Cornucopia yesterday, and yes, your opponent, if they draw your entire deck, I hope you win with that. It's just so slow. Yeah. I mean, I enjoy playing with the Cornucopia deck, but my god, it is... Oh, it's painful to play against. Emberheart Challenger gets and hits us. Well, okay. We're going to do the thing we came here to do. Get in, hit ya. Down to 6. Play the Swamp. Viper. 1, 2, 3. Get it down. Here comes our snake. I mean, it doesn't seem that hard to play Rottenmouth Viper on turn 3 if you want to. Like, it's pretty easy to pull off. Is it good enough? Like, is a Rottenmouth Viper on turn 3, is that good enough to build your deck around? That is the question. It is relatively easy to do, but is it powerful enough to win you the game if you do it? Demonic Ruckus on the Challenger. Triggers Valiant. Draws a land. Please don't double strike the mouse. Let's not do that. How about no Manifold Mouse, CGB? How about that? Just play the Mesa Falcon. Just the Mesa Falcon. It'll be fine. We already had a 3-drop 6. I mean, you have to remember this does snowball, right? So you get the ETB trigger, and then it increases every time you attack with it. So it is better than just a 6/6 for 3. It is definitely better than just a 6/6 for 3, because now we get to attack. It gets another counter. Our opponent has to take 8 or sack 2 things. So if it doesn't die, it does actually snowball pretty effectively. They do get to sack the Demonic Ruckus kind of for free. Sacks the Ruckus. And takes a beast to 6. Well, let's play a Deep Cavern Bat. War Squeak into Cheeky House Mouse. Well, we'll take the War Squeak. Play the Caves of Koilos. Pass the turn. Can we stay alive? There's no removal in hand. Inti comes down. Sure. Plus, we can have for dinner with our Devouring Sugar Ball. About it. Trigger. Sure. I mean, that's going to be a big Viper trigger next turn. And we can tutor with the case if we need to. Opponent attacks. And are we discarding? I mean, if the snake lives, it's very strong. If it lives, it's very good. If you sack like 3 of your cards and then it immediately dies, it's a little sadder. Well, let's have for dinner. And do just a little jumping. So we dropped to 5. Land Heartfire Hero. How do we close out this game? Can we close out this game? Go to combat. Attack. Trigger. Up to 3 counters. And they have to block it, too. If they don't block it, they die to just actual damage. The snake's been super good this game. Yeah, proliferating it would be hilarious. If you had a way to add more counters to it. I mean, it's done serious work this game. It's actually been very good this game. About it. Trying to figure out how to survive. Sacks and sacks. Down to 2. And blocks. And we take 1. Now play the land. Case of the Stash Skeleton. I think we just take a cut down. Do we have cut down in this deck? We do. So I think we just take a cut down. And then cut down Inti. And then Inspector Gadget to block the Challenger. And hope we live. And the snake closes it out. Opponent at 1. What's the top deck? They get a redraw with the Challenger. They get 1 by going Valiant here. They can target it with the Cheeky House Mouse. The Squeak by. But you can't squeak by Novice Inspector. It's only got 1 power. How about it? Thinking it over. Is this the snake win? Are we going out on top with the snake win? I mean, that was actually a very impressive snake game. This has actually kind of made me think snake might be better than I'm giving it credit for. Maybe it's just the matchup that it hasn't died. And we're up to 3 counters on it, so maybe that's it. All right, there's the squeak by. There's the trigger. It's a Heartfire hero. That doesn't change anything, I don't think. They need to draw a trample base. If they draw like a Monstrous Rage or something, or whatever that enchantment was, Demonic Ruckus. Oh! Wait, that doesn't do it though, right? That doesn't do it? Oh, it does do it. Wow. Wow. Oh. Wow, we got there. Oh, that was such a close game. The snake scam worked. The snake scam worked. The Manifold Mouse came just too late. Our opponent could give it trample or double strike, but they can't give it trample and double strike. So our Novice Inspector holds. And I will say, that was a really close game. Like, both ways back and forth, that was a incredibly close game. But in the end, the Viper takes it down. The Viper takes it down. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Well, I think that brings us to the end of our early access day stream. So I gotta say, we got to play what, 5 or 6 decks today, maybe 7 decks today. Here's my ranking. Here's my ranking that we got to play with these decks. And this is super early impressions. Yeah, Mice with Embercleave would be so scary. Although I don't know how a mouse would carry an Embercleave, but yes, Mice with Embercleave would be very good. So early rankings, Frogs surprised me. Frogs deck of the day. I think Frogs were the most impressive deck by far and the most fun deck. So Frogs really sold me. Mice and Rabbits both felt like very good, solid, likely top tier aggro decks. The Viper did better than I expected. That was kind of a surprise, although small sample size. Otters were kind of a flop. Out of all the decks we played, Otters were the only one that felt like, I don't know. Like, we're kind of struggling. It was kind of clunky. Otters were, like, not super impressive. And we still have a ridiculous number of decks that we haven't got to. Like, not only are there more creature type decks that we haven't played yet, there's a bunch of like weird combo decks. There's Maha decks, there's Cruel Claw decks, there's Paw decks like Season of the Lost. So there is a lot more to still explore in this format. This is just day one. There is still a long way to go. But on that note, everyone, I think that brings us to the end of our early access day. The good news is our next stream is on Tuesday, and Tuesday is when the set comes out proper. So we'll be able to check out more of the set on release day on Tuesday. So some reminders on the way out the door today. And then, yes, of course, starting Monday, we'll have everything up on the YouTube channel. So for Budget Magic and so forth. So Bloomburrow stuff coming. So reminders on the way out the door. Replay YouTube for the old streams. Normal YouTube. Check out the game with me and Richard. We did another paper game. So check that out. It was super fun. One more reminder that our sponsor today is Card Kingdom. If you need some magical cards, you can get them over at cardkingdom.com/MTG Goldfish. Even get a free goldfish sticker. Most importantly, thank you to all of you. I love y'all. Y'all are amazing and awesome. And I hope you have an amazing rest of early access day. Have a great night. Have a great week. I love you all so much. Thanks for hanging out, everyone. Be good, and I'll see you on Tuesday for release day. So until then, check out the YouTube, and I will talk to you soon.